All I know, this should be no reason. 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 All I know, and you know, look at what happens. All I know, this should be no reason. 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 All I know, and you know, look at what happens.
What's going on, Conscious Crew? It is your favorite breakdown commentator, CTV. Welcome to another riveting episode of the Consciouztv platform. You already know what we're here to get into. I'm going to be dropping the link because you guys know we've been covering the story and unpacking the story and letting the pendulum swing every which way. And we've yet to talk as a community. So I will be dropping the link for those of you who have your thoughts, your opinions, who got tea, etc. You'll have the opportunity to come up and bring those thoughts and opinions before the tribunal. All right. Now, before we get into it, I need you guys to go ahead and thumbs up this video. You guys know that thumbing up the video not only helps with YouTube's algorithm, but more importantly, it triggers up YouTube's notification system. So when you are literally thumbing up the live stream, you are literally, like in all caps, knocking on the digital door of another Conscious crew member and informing them that the Kang is in here. Kang and girl, so get their arses into the goddamn sanctuary, all right? Also, shout out to all other new subbies. I love you all long time. Make sure that you have your notification bell set to all. And last but not least, please share the stream out wherever it is you have digital community, whether that is your YouTube community wall, your Snapchat, your Insta story, your Facebook, MySpace, the dark side of Twitter, Tumblr, or your personal OF. I don't really give a damn where you lay the link. Just like them whores know. The real out live and in color. And with no further ado, let's go ahead and push on through.
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, you gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, what is going on, Conscious Crew? Hi. Whoopi Rock said, CTV, your aura is so bright. It's just the hair. Somebody else said, CTV, you're glowing, you're in love. If I'm glowing, it's because I'm the complete opposite. There is no love for me, okay? I am on a lesbian rampage right now. I'm glowing because I stay the hell away from men, okay? So if you want to live a long time and you want to glow and you want, to be living your best life, stay the hell away from men, all right? Now, there's a lot going on. So the people are already dropping crazy mint into the stream saying that Sarah Lee, aka Crenshaw Unlocked, has scooped an alleged interview with Christian Keys. Now, Somebody said that's what the streets are saying. What happened that made the streets declare or feel or assume that Christian Keys is going to be sitting down with Flint unlocked itself, girl? What's making the streets say that, J90, J990? Because you had dropped that T. What's making the streets say that? What happened? Like, where are the streets extracting that from? What's going on, y'all? Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. We're going to get into some things, girl, because one thing led to another, that led to another, that led to another. T, I just got, okay, but where? Like, who you got it from? Like, what had happened? Did Sarah Lee say something that alluded to an interview? Claudia and Lee are close to Chris at this time. He doesn't. Oh, the homie is saying that Christian is no longer following Perry. Now, do we know if, well, I'm sure he was at some point. Wait a minute, y'all. Let me go verify some of this shit. Hold on. See, y'all giving me stuff in real time. Shout out to my baby mother, Corey, for the old nasty piece of child support chat. Thank you, baby mother. Thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless it to you, Corey. Christian follows TP Studios. Okay, hold on. Let me go to girl. Let me see if Tyler done blocked me by now, child. Because, you know, they be hovering in the bushes and shit and blocking you ahead of time and shit. Let me see if Tyler done blocked me. Okay. He only following 86 folk. Let me see if Christian. Let me see. Okay, no. Okay, Tyler is not following Christian. Let me see. Let me go to Christian page. Okay, hold on, y'all. Hold on. We're doing some private investigative work here. Hold on. And if y'all be having anything, always email it to me at consciouztv@gmail.com. It's spelled the same way that the channel was spelled. Okay, let me see. Child. Christian might have blocked me by now. Let me see if Christian done block a bitch. Girl, he might have appreciated some of this critical thought over here. Even though we got his back for the most part, we got his back, you know. We just dealing with everything he giving us. You know, that's all we got to work with. Let me see. Christian Keys. Okay, oh no, he ain't blocked me yet. Let me see who he following. Let me see. Tyler, Miss Perry. Okay, he not following Tyler, but like y'all said, he is following Tyler Perry Studios. Okay, let me see. He following Medea. You know, because Medea apparently is the one snatching the girls, honey. Medea is the one, honey. Okay, she the one with the juice. Let me see Medea, honey. Okay, no, not following Medea. All right. No, he ain't followed. He hasn't unfollowed the studio because I just looked. So he's still following TP Studios, girl. All right. Now, also, people talking about they like this look. I don't know what this look is giving, but this look is fresh out of the jacuzzi. Okay, robed up, barefaced. It. The only thing I did is slay these eyebrows, girl. Okay, and throw on my reading rainbow glasses, bitch. Okay, y'all probably gonna get a lot of these type of aesthetics for 2024. Okay, we got a lot to get into. I'm gonna have to issue out some disclaimers before we get started. One of the things that I want to say is, for those of you who are new here, something that is a routine on this platform is that when we have allegations that are not substantiated with facts and evidence, what we like to do, since a lot of viewers always are accusing platforms of being biased, regardless of where the biasness is, what we like to do is explore all perspectives and angles, okay? Especially when we don't have evidence to support any specific direction, okay? So we read the room of the culture, look at what conversations are being had, and then we get into the minds of those who are in opposition, those who are supportive, those who are supporting the accuser, those who are supporting the villain in the story. We get into all of those things. We did this when it came to Megan Thee Stallion and the Tory Lanez debacle. Before the trial happened, we was exploring all angles. Could Tory have done it? Could Kelsey have done it? You know, we just ran back and forth, girl. We gave it up. Well, you guys know that over the last 2 days, we have been exploring things mostly from the perspective of Chris. Today, though, we've gotten a bit more confirmation around some things, but also we're going to definitely step into the mindset of the sector of viewers who are not completely convinced by Christian, because a statement was made on my last live by a beloved Conscious crew member, and it made me think to myself, maybe I had misheard. You know, there's an old saying that says that, you know, nobody's perfect, you know. So, you know, I humble myself and say, you know what, girl, maybe, you know, I'm not perfect, in fact. So let me go listen to the live stream that Christian Keys did and see if I had misheard something. Well, it turns out, as always, that I am indeed perfect. Okay, I had not misheard. Therefore, I did not speak. And upon listening, I discovered some other things that I had not quite heard the first go around. Okay, let me find this comment. And then we're going to proceed, girl, with everything that has unfolded since yesterday. All right. Okay, so this came from my beloved Conscious crew member, Michelle A. All right. Michelle A said, when Christian described the guy climbing in bed with him, that he said that the guy was someone he trusted. Okay, so I said, okay. Michelle A, you know, I know she wouldn't lead me astray. She loved the king. You know, she has watched the king's fate with, you know, her hair, you know, to adorn the king and all things love and light. I said, so because this is coming from a consistent supporter, let me go see if my nosology, if my masters in nosology had failed me. Okay, because you guys know we turned the nosy up over here. Especially when we get into all of the things, and once again, when we only have narratives. All right. Okay. See, that's my boo right there. Michelle A, what's going on, boo? Hey, baby mother. Okay. So, you know, I'm like, okay, this coming from Michelle A. You know, I trust Michelle A. So Michelle A was like, girl, you know, he said that, you know, this was somebody he trusted. So, you know, I put my perfection aside to entertain just for a moment. Girl, I went over there, and not only was Michelle A wrong as hell, and that is not, in fact, what he said, upon re-listening, which the Lord used, baby mama Michelle, okay? Michelle A. Spirit used her, because by the time I done did 2 live streams on this situation, I'm now coming down off of the adrenaline. I'm now coming off of the initial polarized shock of the allegations and who Christian could be allegedly speaking about. And now I'm able to listen to his commentary from a more objective, sobering, analytical mind. And let me tell you, that did not benefit Christian Keys, girl. So we're going to get into some things. But before we deal with what Michelle A helped me to go down the rabbit hole of, I got to tell you guys so we have more confirmation on the situation. So you guys know that it's been all this chitter chat about Christian Keys hasn't named anybody. And let me say, all of this commentary is alleged. It's according to, it's purely speculative. It's circumstantial. And if there's anybody else who need to be goddamn sued, Robert F. Smith and Tyler Miss Medea Stillen Perry, it is Christian Keys. So direct all lawsuits, civil suits, and hold all criminal liability, baby. Matter of fact, where the fuck is my banner, bitch? Before we get started. Hold on, where is my banner, girl? Because y'all will find y'all somebody else's pussy to play with, girl. Hold on. Girl, what y'all won't do is misfire over here, girl, because I'm just the messenger, baby. Okay? I just got my ear to the window, girl. I just have my ears to the walls, girl. Okay? I'm just the hearer. I'm just the listener, girl. Okay, it's y'all who fussing and fighting next door, bitch. All I am is pressed against the wall, listening to the vibrations thereof. All right, I don't create the news, bitch. I just listen very closely to it. Hold on. Where is my supporting banner, girl? Here it is. Hold on. Hold on. Where the fuck is my banner? Oh, here it is, girl. All shit stated on this platform is alleged and intended and established. Therefore, sue the dog shit out of Christian no goddamn keys, okay? All right, so you guys know it's been all this chitter chatter about, well, he hasn't said anybody's name, so why is everybody saying Robert? Why is everybody saying Tyler? Why? He never said anybody's name. Okay, this for the basic non-listening hoes can't ever catch the blues clues, okay? So if y'all ever need a bitch to decode some shit, never get a surface listening motherfucker, okay? Because they will lead y'all ass astray, girl. You will miss your mark fucking around with a basic thinking motherfucker, okay? Where people got the names from was from keys dropping context clues, like very distinct voice, producer and director. I've worked with this person since 05. I've been recording this motherfucker since 05. He has a very distinct voice. He's a billionaire. He's a director producer. Okay? He makes the people laugh. He's a beloved figure amongst the community. Okay? So when we ran through the IMBDM 2345, bitch, who he been working with? Ironically, since 05. Who he been half naked for on stage since 05. Who he been showcasing them very, very big muscles and abs, girl, that surfboard stomach for since 05, girl. Who has he been using his sex appeal to appeal to? Okay? Who he been taking his shirt off for since 05? Hold on. I think we got an old nasty visual reference. And shout out to the 1K girl. That happened fast in the chat. Hold on. I got a visual reference here, chat. Who he been half naked did for? Of course, Miss Medea herself. Okay, now these were all his clues. And he kept doubling down on these clues, letting us know. Hold on, I'm going to use that picture later. Actually, we ain't gonna get there right now. We're gonna build toward using this, okay? Who in the hell? These were his clues. Same thing with Robert F. Smith. The one distinct blues clue he needed, and there was only one, because this is the only time in history this has happened as of right now. He said a black billionaire that has donated and paid the college tuition and student debt down of HBCU students. There's only one black billionaire who's done that. Not Lee Daniels, not P. Diddy, not none of them whores. And P. Diddy is not a billionaire. He's a thousandaire. Okay? We saw how Damon Dash had to come and wangle his ponytail together, girl, to get his change out of Miss Lee Daniels. All right? See, y'all gotta listen. See, all my girls and all my niggas who got masters in theology, we on it, bitch. Okay, you can't get not one thing over us, all right? So that's where we got Tyler, and that's where we got Robert from. Now, since then, folk been saying, well, he cleared Miss Tyler because he allegedly liked a tweet by a Twitter user who was saying, hey, Christian Keys is a victim, and I do not believe that it was Tyler Perry who victimized him. And then this person went on to say a whole lot of other shit. Well, apparently, Christian Keys could be seen liking the tweet. Well, the tweet was filled with a lot of statements, so we don't know exactly what the fuck Christian was actually agreeing to. The post in its entirety, the part where it says that he basically need to hold his abusers accountable, etc. Was he liking the part about Tyler? We don't fucking know. It could have been an accident, baby. People have been caught liking Stranger Things on Twitter by accident. Okay, ask Beyonce's dancer, who's unemployed right now, girl, for accidentally liking some shady shit about her. Okay, so that verifies and clarifies nothing. In all reality, Christian Keys still has access to Instagram Live. and he still has access to all social media programs. If he wanted to clear Medea of any charges, girl, of any speculation, he could hit that live and simply say that. That takes all of 60 seconds to do. It takes only one formal upload to say, hey, I am not speaking about Tyler Medea Perry, girl. He has yet to do that, girl. Liking a random tweet that you can't even bank on being clocked by the culture is not considered exonerating somebody. Okay, so miss me with the bullshit. All right? Well, for those who are, desperately needing some absolute, because these Blues Clues and Christian Keys not exonerating Robert or Tyler as of yet. We have gotten further circumstantial confirmation. Hold on. Shout out to the 13K girl. Shout out to the 14K girl. We're working. All right. Let me screenshot this for the haters, girl. Y'all know I love to trigger them whores off, girl. They think I'm a witch and a warlock and I use all of the ancestors. And do. So we're going to trigger them off tomorrow in a community post, okay? So something very interesting has happened. You guys know Claudia Jordan made a live stream yesterday that we went over. She doubled down. And you guys know now that, or you may not know, Funky Dineva has also confirmed some things. So what we're going to do is do a little nasty fair use here. And we're going to take a look at yesterday's episode of TGIF, where Claudia Jordan and Al Reynolds and Funky Dineva had about 7,000 plus people in the live stream covering the story because there was so much momentum and anticipation built up around it. Everybody wanted to know what the hell Claudia Jordan was going to give. All right. And she said something very interesting after they gave their initial statements about the topic. And she said something that corroborated the names that are the heaviest in rotation regarding the who in the hell Christian is speaking of. So let me go ahead and run an old nasty fair use. This is courtesy of TGIF. Shout out to Fox Soul in them. Let's do it. Okay, now further context I'm going to give you guys in a second. Well, actually, I don't need to. You guys about to hear it for yourself. You get it. All right, listen to this shit. Shout out to the 15K girl. Let me Snapchat. Let me snap that shit, Gria.
Welcome back to TGIF. Wow, we got over 7,000 people in the chat tonight. Shout out to all the soulmates. They are all trying to guess. And yeah, a lot of y'all said the name. I'll just leave it at that. Soulmates, have you ever thought about how
Let me rewind that bike, honey. Let me rewind that bike one more time.
Welcome back to TGIF. Wow, we got over 7,000 people in the chat tonight. Shout out to all the soulmates. They are all trying to guess. And yeah, a lot of y'all said the name. I'll just leave it at that.
Baby, talk about more Blues Clues. Okay, Claudia Jordan. Okay, now if you guys were not in the live chat yesterday, of course, everybody was going up. Everybody kept putting Tyler Perry, Robert, Tyler Perry, all right? So when they came back from commercial, Claudia Jordan decided to help Christian Keys out a little bit by saying, hey, y'all clocking it. Y'all are clocking it, girl. Y'all clocked it successfully. It's who y'all putting in the chat. And I'm just going to say that, all right? So Claudia Jordan, who is Christian Keys' homie and friend and sneaky link allegedly, or was at some damn point. Shout out to Claudia, girl, okay? Dick is dicking. She confirmed that this is Tyler Perry. Okay, she spoke about how her and Christian had a whole conversation at the beginning of their friendship where Christian was distressed over these things, confided in her about these things, and she motherfucking, she knew what type of time it was. And he told her that someday he was going to do exactly what he did today, which would be about, 15 years later? 13 years later. All right. Well, helping her out was her homeboy and co-host, Funky Dineva. Okay, I want you guys to listen to what Miss Funky also had to say, because he corroborated Claudia Jordan's tea on who Christian is talking about. Listen to this shit. Hold on, let me change up my microphone. Thumbs up if you're in the building, and subscribe because we do it all here.
And yeah, there's an argument to be made that in saying who it is not, that's going to directly pinpoint who it is. Oh, well, truth be told, you've already given enough context clues for people to deduce who it is. It is who y'all think it is, okay?
What? What happened, Funky?
Truth be told, you've already given enough context clues for people to deduce who it is. It is who y'all think it is, okay?
What?
It is who y'all think it is. It is who y'all think it is, okay? 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 Clues for people to deduce who it is. It is who y'all think it is, okay?
Girl, I am done. Put a stick in my bun, girl. Now, y'all know that Funky as well used to live adjacent to Christian Keys. They used to frequent the same bars and live in the same area and community in the same housing complex, girl. All right. And you guys know, obviously, Claudia and Funky are good friends. So I'm assuming that either Christian divulged this to Funky directly, just like he did to Claudia in the onslaught of their interactions, or Claudia, being a good gossiping Judy, spilled all the damn tea to Funky Dineva, because you guys know they also good for sharing information and tea behind the scenes. And when we not looking, they oftentimes say that, I'll tell y'all after the break. I'll tell y'all after commercial break, etc., girl. Oh, Deborah, the girls are gagging right now, girl, because I'm eating those girls alive right now. All of them whores, girl. I'm eating those whores alive. Shout out to the almost 2K in the chat, girl. Okay, eating, bon appetiting. All right. So Funky Dineva so far and Claudia Jordan, who both are personally acquainted and have been with Christian Keys, have corroborated and confirmed, girl, that the culture is clocking the tea directly and precisely, girl. So right now it's giving Miss Tyler and Miss Robert, girl. Okay? Further corroborated by Funky and Claudia. So Robert and Perry, once again, bitch, don't try my bussy, hoe. Don't try my bussy. Okay? Send the silver suit and the process server directly to Funky and to Miss Claudia. Now, let's deal with Michelle A., okay, who sent me back to do more research and listening when it came to Christian Keys' initial commentary, because this one's finna get critical, all right? If you are a strong supporter of Christian Keys, and you are standing in solidarity with him regarding his claims and allegations against these alleged billionaires. This is the part where you're going to be triggered, girl. All right, so make your grand exit now. I'm issuing the disclaimer. You don't need to be up in here pressed and bothered, especially when you're medicated and covered your high blood pressure for the month, girl. Don't let CTV's Inspector Gadget and intellectual breaking down of the situation, girl, send you into the upper room with the Lord sooner than later, baby. If you know that your Medicaid has not covered your hypertension medication, girl, it's time for you to bow out, girl, because we about to get critical as fuck. Shout out to Terry, the new subby. Thank you, hey boo. Welcome to the platform. So I'm giving y'all disclaimer, bitch. All right. Now let's get into and revisit Christian Key's commentary, because this is where I don't understand. Okay, that the so-called haters or those who are not convinced that Christian Keys is completely innocent in all of this, they have good reason to believe that. And I'm about to demonstrate to you exactly why they have good reason to demonstrate such cynicalness and such speculativeness. All right, this is courtesy of King Josh's platform. He has the entire upload from Christian Key. Shout out to King. Make sure you guys give him a click in the view if you need to revisit said situation. This is going to be audio. Okay, first thing I want you guys to hear is Christian's account of this man. Now, mind you, Michelle A. said, Christian said that he trusted the person, or that this was somebody that he trusted. That's not what Christian said about this person's, this billionaire's house he stayed at. All right, let's listen to Christian once again, honey. He's going to tell us in his own words what time it is.
You get a grown-ass man that knows that you're heterosexual and you're sleeping off Hennessy in his guest room because he says it's safe. Because I know I'm bad, so I don't, after a big party, won't say what type, won't say where. I'm asleep. I'm gone because I'm 4-5 Hennessy's deep and not short Hennessy's either. And this dude tries to climb into bed with you. So you spaz out, push him out, like, what the fuck? Get ready to leave. He apologizes, blame it on the alcohol. And you try to forgive him. So you're like, all right, man. All right, I'm gone. You shake his hand on the way out, and he tries to grab your penis. He tries to shake and grab your equipment. And you spaz even more. Like, what the fuck you doing, man? What the fuck? Oh, my bad. So you go to leave, he tries to do it again. Now, at that point, my only regret is not breaking multiple bones in this person's face. Like beating the dog shit out of this person, right? Because that's available to me at all times. That inner grizzly bear is always available, but in the moment, I'm like, what the fuck? And wanted to. But you got a guy that's a billionaire, and I got $3,000 in my bank account. Who they gonna believe? Right? I got that $3,000. That's my son's mom's rent for next month. Got to make sure little man's taken care of. That's my rent, and that's
a little bit for the gas tank, and the rest of it, I can go to the dollar store and get some bread and bologna and hot dogs and mustard, and you know, I can get by. Work was slow, and a lot of the work that was coming was.
Okay, we got a commercial. We got a commercial, girl. We got a commercial, child. King. Gotta pay the bills, girl.
It had penis attached to it. I'm like, fuck that, man. I'm not. That's not what I want. That's not what I'm about to do. I regret not speaking up then, not being brave enough to, and I regret not hurting this person because I had a big heart. Mother had a big heart. Mother's heart was just big as Flint, Michigan. She was like a little yellow boy. You finna come and you gonna be a part of my family. And I always try to think about things, you know, and not lash out, even though I wanted to, even though I want to. I'm mad at me for not hitting him. I'm mad at me for not speaking up and saying something. Because between that year and now, how many young Black actors have fell for that? How many of them, and you can hear him say it on you can hear him on the conversations. You can hear him on the conversations. You can hear him say that he has several guys, multiple guys on payroll, 6 figures a year, that pop up and they do whatever he wants and they go back home. So they pop.
All right, so let's put a pause there, girl, because we finna get critical, girl. It's finna get real triggering. All right, hold on. So I wanted to play that in forward because I wanted y'all to hear the whole thing. So we now know that Christian is talking about the same billionaire that's been harassing him for 15 years, that he's been secretly recording on a pen. He just corroborated that that's who he's talking about. He ain't talking about a new figure. This is not a new character on the stage play. This is not a new character in his storyline. He's giving different circumstances in which this person has tried his life. All right. So that's that. But let's unpack this a little bit more, because this is why people are saying this don't make no motherfucking sense. Because if you already have been harassed since the beginning regarding this individual, you now have gotten so scared and so concerned that you, I ain't got no fucking water, that you have to start using recorders in the form of pens, in the form of rings, in the form of necklaces, in the form of all this, girl, because you're so paranoid and you want to be able to cover your ass because you have no trust of this individual. You are concerned for your well-being. You are concerned for your livelihood, the future of your career. This person is just a liability because they want something from you that you're saying you don't want to give them. This person got you spooked and motherfucking nervous. So now you go to an industry event hosted by your abuser, your harasser, your manipulator. And not only do you drink, which is very weird, because anybody who you that afraid of, you would not be drinking around, because everybody knows that liquor compromises your boundaries. It compromises your critical thinking abilities. So you would not remotely decide to drink and then to drink until you are hammered, until you are discombobulated, while knowing that you intentionally are going into a space. You're choosing to intentionally go into a space. My nose ring, girl, fucking up. You're intentionally going into a space with your abuser. And you're going to drink. Not only are you going to go, Because you could have sat your ass home. You could have clipped your toenails. You know, you could have Febrezed your couch. You know, you could have, sent your mom a turkey. You know, you could have been dating a white woman. But instead, you choose to go to the industry event. You chose to get drunk when you should be wanting to have all of your faculties. You should be wanting to be completely sober so that you don't make a fool out of yourself and you don't give this person, any upper hand on you. Because once again, liquor is compromising. All right? It doesn't give you wings, bitch. It removes them. Then, with all this history that's already packed into the situation, this person you allow to convince you to stay overnight. Now, if you to the point that you can't be around a motherfucker without having some type of personal surveillance on you, how in the fuck you get from I'm so shook, girl, that I need recording devices to I'm going to sleep overnight in the guest bedroom? Okay? Also, while not considering that if this person is a pervert and a creep and they want you so desperately and so bad that they, buying you cars, they offering you $100,000 to be naked, then you don't think that this motherfucker gonna prey on you in this instance too? You're not considering that there are probably hidden cameras in the bathroom so he can record your booty hole wide open while you're doing number two? You don't think he got secret cameras installed on the toilet, girl? But when you pull out that big Italian meat, girl, that he has you on candid camera, you don't think he got recording devices in the guest bedroom, girl, where he has now instructed you to sleep? Remind you, this is your stalker. This is your harasser. This is your potential alleged abuser. And you just gonna go to this man party that you didn't have to go to. It wasn't law. You had to go. It was not mandatory, girl. There are no laws on the book that said you had to attend. You chose to attend. You chose to attend and then get drunk. And then you allow somebody that you said you've been spooked and nervous about for years to convince you to sleep in the guest bedroom. And now you got the nerve to be shocked that you wake up to a motherfucker trying to get in your bed in order to get in your ass. You shocked. I'm shocked that you shocked. What else was the pervert supposed to do, bitch? You walked right into the belly of the damn beast. You're in his home. Sleep. Why you shocked that the person you've been recording, been harassing you, been offering you money, been buying you apology gifts, is in your bed because you in this moment, through coming to the party, being drunk at the party, and then sleeping over in his personal quarters after the party, have now communicated indirectly that you possibly with the shits. And that's why he tried your motherfucking life. Because you done set all that shit aside, and yet you here, you drunk, you in bed, and as far as the pervert was concerned, bitch, you ready. You on ready, girl. That ass is a hot and ready Little Caesars pizza, baby. And yet you shook. You shook, girl. That little Pee Wee Herman done popped up. Guess who, bitch? How you surprised? Oh no. But to make matters even more freaky and out of whack and illogical, to make matters even more bizarre, You jump out of bed, according to you, and make a whole stink about the situation. And then have the nerve, after this man already had a history of sexually harassing you, stalking you, making you uncomfortable to the point that you have had to hold recording devices. And now you're standing, living, existing in a moment where this man has tried to take advantage of you while you drunk in love, girl. While you are drunker than Dakota Brown. And you still attempt to shake his hand on the way out the motherfucking door? How? This man who already has a history of trying to sexually entice and coerce you has now played directly in your physical face by trying to get in bed with you under the impression that you are too inebriated and drunk to defend yourself. And all you do at best is, what the fuck, man? What the fuck, man? This pussy made for walking. And then you're telling me that there's something that he can say to you that would comfort the situation in such a way that it would conclude in you being able to try to shake his hand on the way out the door, girl. A handshake is a gesture of neighborliness, kindness. It's a positive affirmation. This nigga just violated you. So tell me what the fuck. Oh, well, he told us, right? What the man said as a rebuttal. I don't, my bad, what? And that results in you slowly putting your clothes back on, slowly taking the elevator to the first floor, slowly being guided to the front door, having small talk over breakfast and what y'all gonna do for the rest of the day. And then with all that, the jam-packed history, the fact that he just tried your life to the billionth degree, and in your mind, you still try to cap this thing off on a positive note by extending your hand for a shake. And not on one time, but on 2 times, he tried to grab your damn ding dong. He tried to grab the junk stuffed in your damn trunk, and you shook all back over again. You shook it all over again. Christian, make your shit make sense. Are you okay? Because now, girl, as a result of you telling this discombobulated ass, out of whack ass story, girl, you got me imagining a whole nother type of truth has played out here. So let me tell you what your illogical ass story that makes no goddamn sense according to what you gave us. Let me tell you what it tells me, girl. It tells me that it's giving, girl, that for the most part, you denied advances. For the most part, like maybe a good 80% of the part, you pulled out, you denied, and you clung to your faith, girl, to not end up as a hobosexual for a homosexual. But that there is another 20, lingering 15%, where you threw that ass in a circle. What it's given is that the reason why you got so much regret is because there have been times that you signed the dotted line. And by signing the dotted line, I mean sitting on the deck. was haunting you and stirring you and harassing you and traumatizing you is the fact that these men and man knew that your ass was straight? Because he goes on after he tells the story about what made him not break this man's face, what made him not expose this man, what made him not apply the gas to this man, is the fact that he had $3,000 motherfucking dollars in his account, girl. And that $3,000 was accounted for because his rent had to get paid out of that. His baby mama rent had to get paid out of that. His child had to be supplied out of that. Therefore, he was reduced to eating out of the Dollar Tree, girl, Spam and bologna and $1 bread. Between the $1 bread, the bologna, and the goddamn Spam, he was forced to munch on until payday, girl. That ass was in a circle. And the real story seems to be, girl, that because there was $3,000 in your account and you was eating off of bologna and drinking tap water, girl, that you threw that ass in a circle that day. And that you came to that party with the intention to get drunk so that that could be your excuse for not remembering what happened. And for you being able, in case all this shit came up and out at some point in time, that your excuse could be that you was drunk and you couldn't defend yourself and you were taken advantage of. This was going to be your cover story or the potential claim to any future lawsuit to come. I do believe that this man resisted a lot of times, but it is not given, girl, that he has resisted 100% all of the advances made to him. And that there were a time or two, girl, in which $3,000 led to being skull fucked and fucked upside down in the guest bedroom of the billionaire. Now, in the homosexual LGBTQIA plus A community, girl, there is something called gay for pay, and there is something called a hobosexual. And Christian Keys was given very much so hobosexual at various parts in his story. A hobosexual is a natural born heterosexual identifying male who, under circumstances regarding his survival or his luxury, is willing to compromise and do some strange things for a little piece of change. Whether that is laying it low and spreading it wide or laying your ass low and spreading you wide. That also goes for the gay for pay girls who are willing to perform sexual acts that they're not genuinely into in order to have Red Lobster tonight rather than bologna and dollar bread. So as far as the LGBTQ is, baby, we've seen this. We know how real it gets, girl. We know how much people would compromise. We've encountered the homosexuals and the gay for pay girls. Because it don't make no sense in the reversal. It don't make no sense that a grown-ass man who is this petrified of a nigga, that he's recording this nigga at this point, would then go to his event, get drunk, knowing it would compromise his critical thinking capacity, and then stay over fucking night, and then shake this man's hands on the way out the door, and then continue to be in relationship to him. Now, Christian Keys is fucking up in his storytelling because he's the one saying that, you know, there were interims in which he did not work for this man. There were interims in which there were no creative collaborations. There were interims in which, you know, they did not have any professional dealings. So what he is communicating is the fact that this ain't somebody he had to see. He was obligated to see, which makes all of Christians' proximity to this man a choice. Just like he chose to go to that party. Just like he chose to stay the night at that man's house. Just like he chose to affirm this man's behavior upon after trying him, after being inebriated, and shook his motherfucking hand and made his behavior okay. These were choices he made. Just like Miss Sophia said about Medias regarding stealing her intellectual property and running off and not cutting her a goddamn check. She said, I ain't worried about suing Tyler Perry for stealing the Medea shit because there's other directors to work with. There's Spike Lee. Okay? There are so many individuals that I could work with. Why would I run behind Tyler Perry as if he's the end all of end all? So, with Tyler Perry not being, or whoever these alleged billionaire is, not being somebody he had to be around, you were making choices to give this person proximity to you. And you were not clear in your boundaries. You are not clear, girl, at acting on the fear and the knowledge you're telling us you absolutely had. Because a scared motherfucker would have never went to their abuser's home, got fucking drunk, stayed the goddamn night, and then hugged, kissed on the cheek, and shook the hand of a motherfucker who tried to violate them just 20 minutes ago on the way out the door to catch the Uber girl. That is not what the tea is, baby. And I'm sorry, bitch. My brain just is not gonna allow me, bitch, to believe on it. Something ain't motherfucking right, bitch. I can't say what it is, in fact, that ain't right. But something ain't right in the buttermilk. But let me tell you, he made matters worse. Because you just heard him, right? Speak about the situation. And say, woo, I would have took these Italian muscles and I just wish I would have bashed this man in his face. Woo! Looking back, I would have took all this light skin privilege and I just would have knocked his ass out. Talking in the hypothetical about what he would have hypothetically done. That he would have knocked this man clean out. Okay. Keep that in mind. We about to speed up the track, baby. We about to speed up the track, bitch. Okay, let me go ahead and fast forward, girl, because he's about to talk. I want y'all to hear what he had to say about the female. Okay? The female co-worker that was trying him by grabbing the junk in his trunk. Let's fast forward a little bit, girl. Listen to this shit here. Because, girl, I can't help it if my math making sense and Christians don't, honey. Y'all got to take that up with Christian, girl. He the one who put us in the group chat, girl. He the one who called us on three-way, girl. Okay? He the one who pulled up to the house, girl, and divulged all this, baby. All we doing is putting it together, taking it apart, putting it together, girl, and making it make sense, because that's what we do, girl. It has to make sense. Listen to this shit right here. Hold on. Let's speed up to the 39-minute mark. Let me change over my microphone.
The sexual favors, they won't have to worry about being sexually harassed and intimidated and bullied because they didn't acquiesce to the sexual harassment or the attempted sexual assault or any of that. They're going to be able to show up and work and create amazing and great stuff without that. I was on a show, and if I had done what this actress did, just switching lanes, if I had done what she did, I'd never work again and I'd be in jail. She used to come up and pat me on the jump, like pat my penis, like, ooh, okay, I see that print. And I checked her, I grabbed her hand right away, checked her, like, what the fuck are you doing? That ain't okay, I'll do that shit, I'm going to jail. What are you doing? She did it again. Grabbed her hand, I was like, stop, that shit ain't funny. We're preparing for a scene. She walks past, cups my equipment, and is like, oh, you got some girth. When I tell you, had that been a dude, I'd have punched them in their motherfucking mouth. If I behaved like this woman, this particular actress had done, in that moment, I'd be in jail, I'd be canceled, and I would never fucking work again. You don't get to walk past somebody and be like, oh, that's nice, and pat them on their fucking private.
Let me switch over my microphone, girl. It's not given. So here it is. Christian is recounting how if this was a dude that had been trying him, had this female coworker that was patting and grabbing and acquainting herself with his dick print, with his eggplant, would have been a dude, he would have used those light-skinned muscles, god damn it! Christian baby daddy, you just told us that you let multiple niggas try you for decades on end, and instead of you throwing them knuckles in a circle, bitch, you were shaking hands on the way out the door after a nightcap. You just told us that the hypothetical in the female situation, you actually done been in for 15 fucking years with multiple billionaires, and you ain't done a motherfucking thing. Now, he didn't even narrate the female as a high-powered bitch. This was a co-worker. This was a co-star. This was just another bitch. And yet, he did not a nothing. What makes Christian Key's set of circumstances so interesting is that he's telling both a truth, and it seems that he's also telling both a lie. I would never negate the fact that sexual harassment and exploitation, especially in the entertainment industry, is rampant, girl. It's just as rampant in the industry as there are niggas on child support, girl, as there are single parent households in America. That's how rampant and prevailing sexual harassment is. If you also, in fact, have any level of beauty equity on you, you're handsome, you're pretty, you're gorgeous, or you seem to be naive, if you have certain personality traits like gullibility, if you appear and come off weak and clueless, these are all things, girl, that will subject you to the coming on of everybody from the talent scout to the label head to the artist to the producer to the director to the photographer, girl, to the casting agent, bitch, to the chauffeur, to the concierge, girl, everybody involved, bitch. So I would never deny that this man has been tried. And I would never deny that he's been tried by people he's not attracted to and by people he did not give permission to try him, that he did not show mutual interest in. I fully believe that he has been the victim of harassment and unwanted advancements like most people have been. But what Christian Keys is not giving me is somebody who is entirely innocent. And Funky Dineva made some really poignant points when he said that there are people who also lead from their sex appeal. As you guys can see here, Christian Keys' shirt is wide open. And if you Google him shirtless, you can find dozens and dozens and dozens of images of him leading from his sex appeal to the general public. Christian Keys played in those stage plays and was willing to be a sex kitten. He knew exactly what type of equity was on his body oddying. He knew how far those abs could get him, like all people working on their body oddy and cultivating and scoping their bodies, because there's major social equity on that body oddy. There are literally whole statistics and sciences and data around sex workers getting work done to their body and their income shooting, doubling, quadrupling, because there is equity on your body oddy. Cardi B herself talked about the difference between her pancake ass on a stripper pole and how she damn near became a millionaire overnight once she got a BBL, bitch. Because there is equity on being attractive. Pretty privilege is a real thing, and it is the most realist, and it's at its highest prime when it comes to the entertainment industry. And all pop stars, musicians, and actors, if they had sex appeal, that was a large part of their commodity and their marketability. Those were things that scouts and talent agents looked for. Now, Christian Keys made a choice to sustain proximity and relationship to people he did not have to be around. And what concerns me about Christian Keys' commentary is that there has been no personal accountability. It has been almost as if somebody made him endure a certain thing, when he literally, in his own words, have talked about there being periods where he didn't work for this person, did not have proximity to this person. There'd be periods where he was broke and then work would pick back up. He chose, for the sake of $3,000 in his account and eating out of the Dollar General, that bologna and that hard $1.50 bread, to sustain a working relationship to the best of his ability, because he asserted his own ambition above his discomfort. And that's his prerogative. But I want Christian to know that that was his prerogative. I want Christian to be okay with the fact that he compromised his personal safety and boundaries for the sake of making money and a future as an actor. And that's okay because everybody gets to choose they fucking boundaries. Everybody gets to choose the price on their head. Everybody gets to choose how much they're going to allow what they want to cost them. Now, it's morally wrong and in some cases illegal to coerce and blackmail motherfucking people. And those laws should be on the book because people should not even have to be in a position to sell their ass, their pussy, their throat, their soul, their bodies, etc. just to be employed, just to obtain things that their work should make them qualified to receive. Not their ass, not their appearance, but their work, their contribution should be the metric. Not whether they're going to fuck you off in the back of the limousine, not whether they're going to be one of your concubines for the next several years, not whether they're going to be a sexual indentured servant to you. Out of order. Deserves prosecution for sure. But Christian, you don't get to not expose, not sue, not press criminal charges, not stand up for yourself personally in the situation, and then come to the public square and play completely victim. Because just like you turned down the car and you turned down the $100K, you could have turned down the invite to your abuser's event. You could have turned down the liquor that was offered to you by the bartenders at your abuser's event. You could have turned down your abuser's advances for you to stay the night. You have made a personal choice. And to me, Christian is suffering with more regret over the choices he made because of the pressure that was applied to him. But guess what? Pressure does not remove your personal agency and autonomy, especially not for grown-ass people. I know we're in that type of space in society where people who don't have enough integrity and don't have enough of a value system get to hide behind blaming somebody else for the choices they made because of pressure. But pressure does not remove choice. And Christian got to make it make sense to himself why he sustained a relationship to his abuser for 15 fucking years. When there were multiple people to be employed by. There were multiple producers and directors to rendezvous with. And let me say this, because this was also an option. For those who want to say that, okay, well, Christian was scared. He was scared. He was shook, girl. He was shook it. He was scared. He didn't want to blow the bag. Guess what? There was a way to not blow the bag and still have his career and his self-respect. That would have been bowing out quietly. He didn't have to go to the law and blow it up. He didn't have to sue and blow it up. He did have another choice. I'm just not going to work with said people. Therefore, he could have sustained his working relationship, and he could have just strategically avoided working with these said individuals, like other people in the business are doing. The only two options here was not, I either got to expose these people and blow it up and worry about being blackballed, or I gotta civilly sue and blow it up and worry about being blackballed. I could have just made the personal decision to not work with this or that motherfucker again and went on about my life. And I could have killed 2 birds with 1 stone, because bowing out quietly would have allowed me to avoid tipping the scale that would have possibly led to me being blackballed and etc. And I could have still had a working relationship in the business. Now, let me tell you something else that was bizarre as hell. And it never came off as genuine. I'm now doubting, and just like Funky Dineva, baby, if he brings this full circle, we'll deal with it when Christian brings it full circle. But it was given really performative, especially when he kept saying, pen. I always kept one. I always got some. Always got something. It was giving me Christian ain't got a motherfucking thing. Especially when you're holding up like what appeared to be a brand new box from one of these pens. Like something you just brought, girl, off of Amazon Prime. That box was white. It had not aged. It had no dents in it. It had no dust on it, girl. It was like, baby, it came straight out the mailbox, like right before the live went up, girl. He did not show any pre-existing pens. He kept showing a brand new box regarding the alleged recording devices that he been using for the last 15 years. The gag is they haven't even had those type of pens readily available 15 years ago. Far more expensive and were far less accessible than today, 15, 20 years ago. Because remember, Claudia said she met him in 2008 where he told her this. He said this started in 2005. Where were you getting all this high-tech ass equipment from? Especially as a struggling father of one, eating balagna and drinking makeshift Kool-Aid, shopping out of the Dollar Tree. But you always had such high-powered equipment. Do you know how much money it costs to turn a recorder into a decoy object? Pens, earrings, recording watches. These were not things readily available nor economically feasible to the everyday person. But mind you, let's say, girl, you done shopped at all the pawn shops, girl, and you got all the 007 equipment, girl, one could run. Fine. The question still is and remains, who was this live stream for? Because the sheer contradictions in I intentionally allowed the statute of limitations to exhaust. But I am absolutely going to authorities. What was the point of that? If the point was, and you saying that you're trying to convince the audience that this ain't about money, you allowing the statute of limitations to exhaust does not absolve your intention to seek a payout, because we all know that those billionaires who are listening, who know that they're being called out, can pay you secretly off, can settle with you outside of the understanding of the public. You allowing the statute of limitations to exhaust, yet you have yet to take your motherfucking lazy eye ass down there to the authorities. What the fuck was the point of you allowing the statute of limitations to exhaust on the civil side, but you've yet to go file a police report? You've yet to get the authorities involved. You've yet to show them these recordings. But then in the commentary, sitting here acting like he is currently a vigilante, talking about, yeah. I'm just thinking about all the men and all the boys, all the boys who currently falling for this. Okay, sir. So then what the fuck are you doing to make sure that there are no current young men and males being victimized by these fucking weirdos? Because what you are telling us is you're still not at the police precinct. You're still not downtown talking to authorities, that you still have not taken these recordings. So what are you doing? What are you doing? What do you think is happening, my nigga? Moment to moment that you have yet to go to authorities, that you have yet to go talk to police, that you have yet to go put all this incriminating evidence in their hands is happening. Right now, those niggas that you said were told to you, that have their ankles tied up, that are on his payroll, these talents and actors who are allowing themselves to be smutted and slutted out in exchange for a working, successful career, are still being subjected to the power and the current non-accountability that exists on them, because you'd rather be home talking to 100,000 people on the internet who don't give a fuck, rather than you going down there to the goddamn police and doing motherfucking something useful and substantial, since you the one so shook and these folk so evil and so predatory and they so goddamn powerful and they need to be stopped, and so many black men being victimized and so many black men being touched and so many goddamn people being fucked over, and yet you would rather be on Instagram being subliminal, not dropping names, wasting an hour and 6 minutes of your own time, rather than taking all your alleged evidence down there to the authorities so you can act on your conviction. I'm sorry. Right now, it is giving Jesse Smollett. And that's another motherfucking thing, is we don't even live in an era on social media where we should just run with somebody else's accusations, because how many Jesse Smolletts have there been? How many Carly Russells have they been? How many times have we been gooped and motherfucking duped? Champion behind the fucking accuser. The only find that we done been hoodwinked and motherfucking bamboozled. It is giving Christian Smollett right now. And because you invited us into the conversation, everybody who has a critical assessment of Christian Keys is appropriate. Because the public don't owe Christian a motherfucking thing. He decided to go live. He decided to allege. he decided to subliminal. He decided to put his story into the public domain. And did all that without a single lick of evidence. And let's also be clear, while we being critical, if we really want to be critical. Let's really be critical. Claudia Jordan and Funky Dineva, while they may have gone on record to say that Tyler Perry and Robert Smith allegedly are the people who Christian is talking about, neither one of them, though, have yet to say they've seen any evidence of it. I believe that Christian Keys has told other people about these things close to him. But nobody who is saying that, yes, this is who he's talking about, who knows him personally or who close to the situation, has said they've seen any of this alleged proof. And even if you have heard the recordings, that still doesn't tell us what Christian's role in all of this is, which leads me to my last point. Maybe the reason why Christian jumped out of the window and decided to go to social media first before he pulled the trigger, and he decided to load up the public with these stories of being drunk, being inebriated, being broke and preyed off of, is because he might have participated in selling his soul a few times. And he knows that there's potential for him and his part to be exposed once he pulls the goddamn trigger. So he's already setting the public up to make excuses for his participation, because he's now made an emotional appeal to you all that he's just a struggling single black father who has just been trying to do the right thing and be an honest, God-fearing, heterosexual man who just wants to act. And he was under all this pressure, and he felt it was inescapable, and he felt powerless, and he felt etc., because he knows that if he has participated a time or 2 or 3 or 14, that once he pulled the trigger, girl, that the other side may have their fair share of evidence as well. They'll be able to show the parts of the recordings that he conveniently edited out. They may be able to show the parts of the text messages that he conveniently edited out. They too may have their corroborating evidence to support their side. This jumping out of the window, telling your left hand what your right hand doing, and then he kept doing this other weird shit. There's going to have to be a conversation. There's going to have to be a conversation. There's going to have to... What are you talking about? You're swinging between holding these people criminally liable and then also keeps doubling down on a conversation. What conversation? What are you talking about, my nigga? It was clear to me that this live stream wasn't for you and I. He wasn't talking to us. Because nothing he's saying is making sense. Clearly, he's confused. He's distressed. He's traumatized. He's got a lot going on. He may currently be eating bologna and down there to the Dollar General. But what conversation? 15 years of harassment, bitch. What is that to say? 15 years of hardcore motherfucking evidence. Girl, your pen go harder than Nicki Minaj's. Your pen harder than Nas, girl. What conversation? What, a conversation what? About a payout? About how to resolve this secretly? Because That's what it's given. What is it that you want? What is there to say? What dialogue? What verbal exchange? You already know who they are. You already know what they do, what they've done, what they've confessed. You already know how they got this whole shit systemically set up. And you sitting on hardcore evidence that you have yet to present to the people that can hold these folk accountable, while you on live talking to a bunch of strangers about what you are going to do. While there's currently black men being exploited, young black talent being exploited and subjected to these billionaire psychopaths. Oh, and that's one more hypothetical. Christian Keys is either telling the truth and his conversation was the result of emotionalism and being triggered, and that's why he sounds flabbergasted and inconsistent. Or Christian Keys is strategically trying to get a payoff and trying to blackmail the blackmailers. He's pulling one out of their books because Christian might believe that because he's now allegedly sitting on evidence, they don't know. The billionaires don't know whether that's absolutely the case or not. That either is or isn't true, that he has all this evidence, but this is what he's saying. And maybe he's trying to extort the extortionist, because Christian Keys has set himself up to be in almost an idealistic situation, because he get to threaten to have evidence that he doesn't necessarily have to prove that he has to those who got something to lose as a result of him slapping an address on it and presenting possible evidence to corroborate his narrative. So not only does he get to secure a nice payout, a long-term payout, as a result of withholding said evidence, but he also gets to ensure that he's not blackballed. That's a part of the extortion as well. I will dangle this carrot, aka this alleged proof, over you, and this is what's going to secure me getting money out of your motherfucking ass and ensuring that you cannot do anything to stop me going forward. Because if you do, bitch, this pen is going to drop, girl. If you do, bitch, this pen is going to go viral, girl. So he might, girl, be trying to outsmart the smarties, girl. He may, in fact, think he's being clever. But let's say that's hypothetically the case, that he's trying to outsmart the smarty. What he ain't realizing is that because currently you broke, currently because you might be living off Bologna, currently you might need the money, that the people you're threatening and trying to blackmail as a result of what they've done to you currently have the means to make your motherfucking ass disappear. Currently have. Have you not thought about that? That while you're wanting money, the people you threatening already got it. And there are people who will do what need to be done on behalf of these billionaires for free, bitch. Because there's major equity on just having proximity to people that you adore and you idolize. We have seen how celebrities, look at how Nicki Minaj was able to weaponize the barbs. Look at some of the grotesque things that the Beehive have been responsible for. They've canceled whole fucking careers. You don't even have to pay people anymore to do wrong, really bad things. So why would you tell your left hand what your right hand gonna do unless it's because you are trying to extort the abusers, which I'm not really mad at, because anybody who has been abused, get your shit. I just hope that you cover the front door and the back door when you do. Cover both ends. Make sure that you know what you're doing. You know, whatever kind of way you need to go get justice, boo, like get your justice, whatever that look like for you. I don't even personally give a damn that he want money. If that's what will appease his pain, money it is. If that's seeing them motherfuckers go to jail, jail it is. But it doesn't seem intelligent to me to be in need of money and be threatening people as loosely as he is, who have the means to make really horrible things happen to him before he even gets a chance to haul his ass down to the precinct. Now, what everybody championing behind Christian Keys got to ask themselves is, why would a man this scared already not be down to the police? Why would a man this scared be on live stream threatening his abusers, and we all know they have the means to hurt him, and he not have put himself in a secure position? Why would he do such a thing? This is my bathrobe. This is my bathrobe, boo. Why? Why would he not? Everything right now is given. I want you to personally make this up to me. You need to apologize. You need to stop harassing me. You need to pay me for my pain. And you need to sign in blood that you won't do a goddamn thing to stop my career. And this could all go away. Christian Keys was not given a man who seemed to truly be determined to do something about what he said he's going to do something about. Because he's still talking in past tense. He's not telling us what he has done to rectify and to bring justice. He's still talking about what he might and potentially and hypothetically and possibly and for sure absolutely is going to do and have done not a goddamn thing. And to those saying that it could be clout, you know what? The Carly Russells exist. The Jesse Smolletts exist. The man did say he was inspired by Cassie. Maybe he's reflecting on things in his past that he felt he should have stood up for. And he's embellishing a whole story. And this Cassie situation just really made him step into the role of being who he is saying that he is. We do know that something happened to him. That much we can probably be safe and confident in assuming. Claudia has affirmed it. There are other celebrities that are standing in solidarity with him, if not about his direct situation, just about the reality of extortion and harassment, etc. in the business. But is it exactly what he's saying that it is? Maybe not. Did all the things that happen the way he said that it did? Either it did or it didn't. But what I do know is that this execution on Christian Keys' behalf, girl, is one of the sloppiest executions of justice I've ever seen and heard. And it's beyond me to accept that a man with his means, who has done major business, signed major checks, know how money in the industry roll, would be this ill-equipped. It's hard for me to believe that. I have to believe right now that Christian Keys knows what he's doing, not in a positive sense. This makes no sense. This is a lawyer would have never signed off on everything Christian Keys did. No lawyer would. This is career suicide. This is silver suit suicide. This is no lawyer. No motherfucking lawyer would have dared to do so. He was triggered. He jumped out the window. How much of this shit is true? Does he really have proof? Does he really want to pay out? Is he going to do something? These are questions we shouldn't have from somebody who brought the shit to us, baby. We shouldn't have more questions than we do answers about something you brought to us. If he needed to be comforted and supported, he should have turned to his goddamn family and his core friends to lean on, not to the court of public opinion. What was he expecting by doing all this? There's more consequences in what he did than not. Because as I said in a previous live stream, now that Christian Keys is doing what he's doing and he's dangling the carrot and dangling evidence, and he said that he carries recorders, he's now made himself a liability to all the other goddamn predators who are gatekeepers in the industry, who now will definitely be blackballing and avoiding his motherfucking ass. He might have put himself in escalated concern even for those who not abusers, because they can't trust him to actually sign NDAs and honor them, even when there is no criminality behind it. It's just It's just standard industry protocol. Who wants to now work with Christian Keys knowing he's carrying around devices in the form of everyday fucking objects? That he's going to be in board meetings, he's going to be signing waivers, that there are clearly going to be things that he's going to have to be trusted to shut the fuck up about. But how can they remotely believe his capacity to do so if he's already done told the goddamn world that he recording everybody's motherfucking shit and that he always carries one of these around? And because he didn't present any evidence, it's safe for other people in the business to also leave room to consider if he's an extortionist. Because they may fear this motherfucker may come into the company and then get broke, be eating bologna again, girl, and all of a sudden, girl, he gonna be claiming that Toys R Us, been trying to get his asshole, for the past 15 years, for the past 5 years, girl, that Mattel been trying to get in that bussy, girl. This just does not make sense. As somebody who has done PR and has managed public images of public figures, girl, this is a career and social disaster. And baby, if there is a team behind this bitch, clearly you get what you pay for, girl. He must got his PR out of Dollar General as well. He must have gotten his management, girl, out of the Dollar Tree too. He must have gotten, girl, his lawyers from Temu, girl. Very discounted, girl. Amazon Prime ass lawyers, girl. Because there ain't no way in the hell, girl. It ain't no way. It ain't no way. It ain't no way, girl. It ain't no way, girl, that this is intentional, bitch. It ain't no way that any level of intelligence and nuance and critical dealings and critical creativity, girl, went into this, girl, because there are more L's that can come out of this execution than not. So I have to assume, girl, there ain't no team. Or if there is a team, it is a Temu exclusive team, bitch. I'm going to drop the link. We got about 10, 15 minutes, girl. We already been here for almost 2 hours, girl. I'll give y'all 30 minutes. Let me drop the link. All of my beautiful moderators, rotate the link for the community, girl. Thank y'all. Love y'all long time. I just dropped the link. But anybody who got an opinion, child, come up here and talk about it. Thumbs up if you're in the building. Right. All right. We jam-packed. We got them. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. All right. What's going on, y'all? Hi, Sin. I'm just going in chronological order, you guys. Hey, Sin girl, what is the tea? What do you think about Christian Keys and the mess of the mess?
Well, sweetheart, I love you. You know I love you long time.
Yes.
But I gotta give you some I'm the historical chick.
Yes.
I'm the big 5-0 now. So
yes. Okay, come on, bring it on. Come on, bring it on.
Some shit. Okay, number one, I am a fan and an avid follower of him. He's been doing IG since we were in COVID quarantine on Sundays. Engaging with his fans. You know how a lot of they were doing when we were all on quarantine. So there's some backstory with this young man. I don't know how, because yes, nobody was checking for him until he pulled this shit on Friday. I was in the live stream in the comments trying to get him off of the live, encouraging him to hang up and call his brother, because his brother was also in the chat. We were trying to get him not to do this, because I've communicated with him in chat before, in live before. So we was like, Christian, don't do this, baby. This ain't the way. Number one. Number two, he is traumatized more than I think the public knows, even though I will say to everybody, and you too, Conscious, because you do homework, go back and look at any interviews that have come up about him in the last 2 years. He tells his horrific childhood story of
Hold on for a minute, Sin. I'm gonna need to mute everybody because we got like people opening up Dorito bags and paying bills and opening up envelopes and illegal checks and shit. Okay. All right. Go ahead, Sin. Go ahead, boo.
No, what I was saying is that, I want everybody to go onto YouTube in their leisure and look up some other interviews regarding this young man, not about that just has happened.
Dragon, I'm holding. Hold on for a minute, boo. Dragon, is some feedback in your phone. You are gonna have. I don't know if you're listening like from a second device or not, but
okay, I'll fix it. Yeah, I'll fix it right now.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna mute you until I call upon you.
Okay.
All right. Okay, go ahead, Sin.
Okay, so we all know that he was a foster kid, but he suffered some like Guantanamo Bay type abuse from the first adoptive parent. So he's gotten over and has forgiven her, but I think some of what this trauma stuff goes on with him, which hasn't manifested in a while, but if anybody that follows him like I follow him, so we even told him in the chat, Christian, you don't look well. Are you okay? Because he did look sick. Nothing about how he was talking and rambling is his usual self. He's usually pretty cogent, on tack. And then he was like, he was out of sequence in his stories. Like, people think that he has a small child. Now his son is in his 20s in the Army right now. So that stuff happened when he was a kid. When that baby was home with his baby mama. So he had to, a lot of us don't fucking know what we'll do until we got another mouth to feed. Yeah, he loves misbehaving. He loves his those drinks of red wine when he puts fruit in them. He drinks a lot of that. He's he claimed he stopped doing the Hennessy right now and stuff because he is on tour with the city wineries. He has an album out. He's got books he's releasing. He's also got some other shows that he co-produced. That one of them is on Netflix. You know, was it the Black Hampton? So all of that stuff. In addition to the show that he got, I know they did not renew All Rise. He admitted that he was on in contempt. There was some time he was not working with Tyler, so that was also true. I think a lot of what we see here, I think he might have been drunk or something, but something triggered him because, and I'm not making no excuses for him. I follow him enough to know that this was out of the ordinary for him. He was on live last week here in Atlanta because they were shooting all the Queen's men because we know when he shoot, he can't give it away, but they always put that powder in his hair to make it look like he has that blonde, that gray streak. So they were shooting something between then and now triggered him on Friday because I had to ask the fucking question myself. What the fuck happened? He was just stoned like two or 3 days before then. So, you know, he's generally a genuine person, but I want people to get some backstory and not just let this be his legacy because he has overcome some very tremendous challenges at an early age whether we were raised by single parents or had mama and daddy in the house, he had nobody. So some of that trauma comes back up when shit gets triggered. Because there's literature out there that speaks to when a person has suffered that level of abuse, and that bitch should be burning in hell right now for what she did to him and his brother. And like I said, everybody go look at the interviews for the last 2 years on YouTube with some of these other podcasters and some of the ones he's done on TV that are on YouTube. You all will hear his story about that horrendous fucking abuse. Anything from what you had to go through something like that will set your ass right the fuck off. Now, with that being said, as a sexual assault nurse examiner, I do believe that something happened, but the story is a little disjointed. It's incongruent right now, but I'm not going to call him a liar or Jesse Smollett and all of that because he should know better from that shit. And then I have to speak on that because it makes it hard for people to come forth and tell their truth.
Okay, but this is the thing. Hold on, let me put a pin in it, and let me ask you this question. So, why do people come to social media to begin with before employing all of the meaningful resources in their life? Like, I don't even know. Like, I would never bring something very sensitive to me to the public. Just because I work in the public, I work in social media, so I know how ratchet this space is. I know that this is a goddamn this is a digital jungle in this bitch. So anything personally I'm going to share on social media is something that's already been resolved in me. It's already something that I have a certain level of expectation out of based upon the reality of social media, not the idealistic fantasy shit that we would want social media to be, but what it actually does give. Why is he on live? Because it made me feel like also Christian didn't have no real friends in his life, because I would never go to social media before calling my actual support group about something that's literally like bothering me, that's harassing me. If I'm having intrusive thoughts, etc., my first go-to is my team. Instead, he went to social media and it seemed like his support base was in the chat trying to get his ass off the live.
Yes, his brother and them, because they were in the live because they do a Bible study on IG on Wednesdays, and then they talk shit on Saturdays. So, and I don't want to call his name or whatever, but they were in the chat. All of them, they were in the chat. Even those that, like I said, that follow his brothers. We were trying to get him off this live because we understand the backlash. Now, he might have had too many magnificence, but like I said, I could tell he was unwell that day. So he kept saying, I'm all right, I got peace. And he just did not look like himself. And it just, we knew this was going to happen. He must have felt like he had the community enough and the community support with as much as he engaged.
But what was he hoping? He brought no names. He dropped Blue's
I
Clues.
can't speak to that.
He dropped
the same thing.
He dropped Blue's Clues that have now gaslighted a bunch of people's names into the trend and the algorithm. He spoke about receipts that he ain't brought to the authorities. What the fuck was the point?
You know what? I do not know. But I would say as an empath, because he is an empath, and we've had those conversations early in the year with him on live, that whatever has happened recently that has transpired, several things. He lost his second adoptive mom 2 years ago this month. So he's already feeling some kind of way. They've had some family challenges and some things going on. So he's got a lot of hurt that he's fucking dealing with. I wish he would have called his brothers and them first.
Why you think rich people don't ever employ therapy? They would employ the bottle.
The therapy. I don't know why I can't explain it. I personally would not have done it. Maybe he felt like he had community. Maybe he felt like
but community to achieve what is what I'm trying to figure out. Like, because the position that he left all of us in it has led to us not even knowing what the position or the assignment is supposed to be. It's people you done jumped out there and alluded to that you haven't said objectively is you, like, we don't even know what we are supposed to be
getting from this, right?
Like what we're supposed to even be fucking doing with it.
Right. He's traumatized, but something, most recent had to have made him jump off that fucking cliff, because he wasn't like that a week ago, because he was just on live.
But why you think he jumped off the cliff into social media rather than into the arms of the police and the authorities with all this evidence he got?
I do not know, but when people are hurting like that, and then you think you are trauma cured from, and understand, I believe some of that's that little boy shit from what he went through as a child, wanting that acceptance and that love. And I think that's why he let the shit go on for so long, because, hoping that things will change, having that naivete and not that understanding that we knew at in this century and in this time where we were raised that,
how are they going to change when he said that these guys have confessed to also already having other men kind of bow down and kiss the ring? Like,
well, we already know that that's what Hollywood does. That fuck shit been out since the beginning of time. We don't call it casting couch for nothing. My thing is, whatever, like I said, I believe some of this is that childhood trauma stuff, especially once he went back into the foster care system after they failed him and this bitch damn near unalived him, with the beatings and the stupid shit she was subjecting him to, making him stand out in the Michigan cold in the middle of the night with snow on the ground, butt ass naked, then throwing him in the shower. That's some trauma.
And I want to add, I can get with all of, I can get with all of that, and
that's why I want people to
go. We're gonna have to have a conversation. But this is the thing too, because I'm struggling now. Now that my analytical mind is wide open, I'm struggling. There's something else I wanted to say too. Mm-hmm. It's because that situation in the guest bedroom is just ridiculous. It's just absolutely it's absurd. Like, everything about the whole circumstance is absurd. From Christian side, it's absurd. Right. Like, it literally makes no fucking sense. I almost am like, girl, did this even, like, are you making this up on the spot, girl? Because that's how ridiculous and how just much sense it lacked. It was just beyond. But this is also a thing too. It's interesting to me that Christian chose proximity to people he didn't have to be around for 15 years straight and decided to record them instead of punching them and breaking their face or just exposing them or just not working with them or all the other choices he could have made that he didn't make because he thought that proximity to these particular people or person was worth the hoopla over. That's a choice he made. I want him to be clear that he made a choice.
Okay.
That he made a choice to handle things how he handled them. It could have exposed, could have sued, could have went to the police, or could have just relinquish all relationship to said person.
Right.
That's what he could have did, but that's what he didn't do. Fine.
Right,
He had done how he did it, but this is also my thing.
Right.
Christian would also be kind of one of the first men in history who would be traumatized over being deeply desirable, because that's the other part that's tripping me up. I understand women, because women have a socialized context for why certain levels of attention would make them feel uncomfortable, even if they're getting the highest praise, just because we know women largely have struggled to protect themselves from people who have had deep interest in them sexually. But men, however, have been socialized also deeply to find narcissistic value in desirability. And we are talking about a man who has led from his sex appeal, knew to have his shirt off, was comfortable leading with his body and his attractiveness, etc. And it behooves me that he would be traumatized by a motherfucker offering him $100,000 to get naked. I'm sorry, but a lot of men, even a lot of men who get hit on by gay men, because Christian ain't even against homosexuals, so we can't even say he's homophobic, because to his truth, he's not homophobic. He has gay friends. He's comfortable with other people's sexuality. Blah 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 blah. But you are losing sleep at night because is it the consistency of the interest that was shown, or is it just the audacity and the fact that somebody had the nerve to actually come on to you? Like, I would like more understanding from him about what exactly is the, like, where does he find the deepest offense at? Is it the audacity to come on to you at all, or is it the fact that you told these people explicitly no? But this is when it gets so crazy in his story, is you're telling them no, but you're maintaining proximity to them while you know how they are not only with you, but with other men. And you're sustaining that for over a decade, and you're sleeping at their homes, attending their parties, drinking their liquor. And I'm not sure if that's a clear communication of boundaries, because boundaries are something because boundaries are not only something that have to be said, they have to be acted on in order to actually have authority. Like to articulate your boundaries is meaningless. It's actually standing in your boundaries that actually allows them to be the walls of defense that they oftentimes are. And it's just weird to me that in an hour and 6 minutes that Christian did not take a lot of responsibility for prioritizing whatever he wanted from these people and making that also a part of this conversation, because these are people that by nothing he said made me feel that he had to be around these people and that he had to work with these particular people. But it's ironic that those particular people were billionaires. Those particular people were powerful people. And to be attracted to that is human nature. But this was just a very sloppy execution on his part. I feel bad for him. It seemed like it's a lot going on, and I feel like he put himself in danger, because I don't know what he thinks is supposed to happen now that you have let these billionaires know that you're sitting on incriminating evidence that could, to his point, federal. He wanted to make sure to say that. But still, yet he also hasn't done shit about it. So I don't know what it's given. But let me get some other people in here, and then I can double back around.
Let me say this real quick. Number one, about the listening devices. Remember back in the day when Sharper Image first came out and stuff, those pens were on the market. So, because hell, I've seen them, but played with them in the store even before Brookstone had come out. And being a sexual assault nurse examiner, we got to be careful with how, even as public, we view this, because now what if everything is true? Even though how fucked up he came out, what if
I'm just saying that the burden though is the burden. This is my issue with the responsibility of the public. The burden is not on us. It's not our shit to begin with. It's not our truth. It's not our reality. He came to us. The burden is on him to handle his shit in a way that vindicates him, empowers him, etc. He's dumb for coming to the public with these allegations, yet got evidence that can exonerate and legitimize his plight, and forfeited all of that and just presented a subliminal, incoherent narrative for an hour and 6 minutes to the general public. We bear no responsibility to perfect strangers coming to us, the general public, about shit we know nothing about. Unfortunately, as difficult of a responsibility as that is, it is on the person with the story and the truth. That's their burden, to secure all those areas before bringing it to us.
You're right, but what I'm saying is this: the reason why people don't speak up now, black and brown, male and female especially, is because we're going to get burned at the stake every time. And it is so important that we speak up, but then have clarity. If you're going to name the folk, name the folk. If not, go put in the police reports. Hell, we are in a fucking backlog in this country with rape kits. Hell, there are rape kits that I did at Grady in 2011 that are probably still sitting in the damn plates over there. So these
Christian Keys, though, is not one of those.
I know
he's not one of those people that fits the bill of a perfect victim being assaulted. Because I don't know about y'all, but for me, first and foremost, I acknowledge people as accusers versus victims. As far as I'm concerned, Christian Keys is not a victim. He is an accuser. He's someone that has an accusation to unknown and unnamed billionaires. I don't know he's a victim. I can respect him according to his story, but he brought the story to us knowing what comes with social media, knowing that people like answers, they like clarity, because let's be clear, anybody coming to the public is looking for, like you said, support. Obviously, anybody using the internet knows that support is to have an audience weaponized against your perpetrators. That's the real low-key intent, even for those who don't want to admit that that's why they want to go forward to the public. It's because you're looking for a witch hunt, which fine, if that's what you're looking for. But he came bearing a lot of narratives. And once again, it's led to now Lee Daniels' name headlining, Tyler Perry name headlining, Robert Smith name headlining. If these are the people he's not talking about, he's also yet to make those things right. He's yet to also utilize the live chat or the live stream phenomenon to absolve these people of any incrimination. And Christian Keys is one of these people that, like, he's getting some smoke, but as far as I'm concerned, I think it's rightfully so. You said a lot of shit. People are unpacking it, and if the shit don't make sense, it don't make sense. Like, you brought it to us, and all people have right now is every single word he said, not words we put in his mouth per se. He dropped the Easter eggs. He dropped the specifics and characteristics and times and dates, and he told us about certain instances and situations. So this is what is in his cart now. Like, you loaded this cart and you brought the general public into your shit, and now they're in your shit. And all the people who stand by him, they're correct. All the people that are critical and was like, nah, baby, shit ain't making sense, are correct, because all everybody is dealing with is what was presented to them. Exactly. And there are people who don't care about the inconsistencies or whatever. For them, they can chop it up as he was drunk, whatever. I believe him, and that's cool. And there are people who believe, baby, your hand is not as clean as it say, because these situations you talking about, girl, they literally don't make fucking sense at all. And once again, you have the thing that makes Christian interesting is that the fact that, once again, his support system was in the chat. He left them out of supporting him in a real way. And
they tried calling him because that's why the chat towards the
no, but I'm talking about like after the fact, like they were doing damage control after the fact. He obviously chose to go live, and nobody knew this was going to happen.
Exactly.
And now everybody is reacting, and now everybody is reacting in real time because they see what he's inching toward, and they, like me, know no good can come about this, my nigga. You are about to fuck your shit up. And this is not the way to do this, girl. You're not like you're about to muddy the waters in a way that you're going to regret later. His team started teaming because whatever did trigger him, maybe he got hit on again, maybe something popped off, maybe he was just in his feelings. It is a retrograde, so maybe everything is coming up and out, and all the right things are just bringing everything to a boil, and he's boiling. But nonetheless, the situation is confusing. It's all over the place. And look, if a Christian almost now, his only saving grace would be to make his claims factual. Yeah. He's almost kind of backed himself up into a wall in such a way that he needs to absolutely now drop the fucking receipts, because if he doesn't do that, if he does not go to the authorities, if he does not in fact do everything he promised to do on that live, he now has ruined his own reputation and credibility, because he will never be able to make these claims again. He will never be able to come forward again and have the benefit of a doubt provided to him, because we've already been through this with him, and he decided to drop the ball. I really hope that he knows what he got himself into, because if he goes forward, this is going to be crazy as hell. And if he doesn't go forward, he just did himself in when it comes to the court of public opinion.
Yeah, and it's sad, but going forward, hopefully, I could tell people this just to pray for him, because it's some crazy times right now. But you're right. I'm just worried that if he turns that shit into APD down here in Atlanta, that shit may disappear, because Tyler got this area on lock. He didn't just get Fort McPherson just all of a sudden to put his studio out there. Him and Keisha and them, they had some shit working where there were other bids entertained, and he comes in and they awarded him that property. So I don't trust him even going to the police with that shit down here if he got what he say he has. So that's all I'm saying. But everybody,
all right, Sam,
check the backstory. I love you, baby.
And stick around, boo, if you want to stick around, and love you too.
Yeah, I am. I'm gonna stick around.
Okay. All right. My girl, T Lounge. Okay, girl. Time is ticking. T Lounge. What is the T? What you think about this Christian Keys situation?
I think that the writer's strike got him looking for
I forgot about the writer's strike.
A way to make the holidays holiday, if that makes any sense. It just seems a little bit, the timing is interesting. And I hate, like, I try my best to believe the victim, However, it's just something about the way, like, I believed it more before I heard him speak. Like, when I just saw the headlines, I said, well, that seems about right. Tyler Perry, we've all kind of suspected this casting couch situation way before the Boondocks. You know what I mean? You would just look at his cast of characters and just, it just seemed a little bit like he had a harem of, this is just my opinion, like this, a harem of, men that he would rotate in his films, that, certain things might be going on behind the scenes. I mean, I think that was just always what the general public might have just chalked it up as. And so I really didn't even watch the video. I was pretty much like, oh, yeah, it sounds about right, And I heard something about a recording. I'm like, yeah, okay. So then I guess it's Tyler Perry's time now, huh? And then I saw the video and I'm like, I believed it more before I seen the video. Like, now I'm just seeing, it just seemed very contrived. It seemed a little scripted. It seemed, it was lacking some sort of a,
realism,
and So I just am struggling with believing it. And I think that it's something I don't know. It's just something that's just not sitting right in my spirit about the whole situation. And it's been a few situations like this to where later on down the line when I felt like this, come find out I was right to feel that way, you know. I mean, just certain headlines that I remember like right off the bat saying like, I don't believe that. You know what I mean? I just went on and I was not necessarily with the popular opinion. And then lo and behold, you know, I was vindicated in some kind of way, you know. So vindicated, that sounds a little
you were affirmed in your
affirmed, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm just wanting to hear more. I don't understand why if you have all this evidence, you know, just go on and go to the police. And what do you wait? And then he was saying, and I'm not a lawyer, so somebody would have to, you know, explain this to me, but he was saying that he was waiting for the statutes of limitations to pass. But isn't that usually to prosecute as far as criminal cases? Because usually after the statute you can sue civilly. So isn't it still a possibility for it to be a money grab? Like he was saying it as if he let it pass so that people wouldn't think it was a money grab. But isn't that usually what happens, like after time has passed? And like I said, I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not familiar with that part. Somebody would have to.
Yeah, I'm not sure. And then even with that being the case, you know, it was like, even taking that at face value, if you allowed the statute of limitations to exhaust intentionally, then why are you now not in the criminal suit bag? Why is that still something you're talking about doing when you are saying you intentionally allowed the civil suit statutes to expire so that you can then press the gas criminally, and yet you've yet to press the gas, but you're threatening to press the gas?
Right.
I don't. Hold that thought, T. We circle back around.
All righty.
Rumors and tea. What is it giving, girl?
Hey, y'all. It is definitely giving me. It is definitely giving me. Gay for hire. True story. I definitely feel like he has done some things for a little change from time to time. Like he's been in maybe desperate situations. I think the trigger was, I think he's been replaced. I'm pretty sure there were always others, but there may be a one particular newbie that has absolutely replaced him, because I definitely feel like he's made these threats before behind the scenes. And they have worked in his favor out of desperation. And this time it just didn't go that way. And I believe that was the trigger. So I definitely believe that he weaponized social media so that, because the norm has been, if someone comes out and accuse someone, you know, most of us that have been through some type of SA, we immediately believe the accuser. This time I'm so happy that the public is asking questions. We're not just out here lynching people without proof.
We have been through this before again. And so now, yes, we also looking out for the best of our damn sanity and making sure that we do checks and balances, because we fell for the Carly Russell situation. That was the most recent situation where hundreds of thousands of dollars went into bullshit. You know, whole resources were utilized over something that never happened.
And my thing is briefly, my thing is that as the lady said before, T Lounge, I definitely know that we have had a history of just, we'll go with what's said and we'll crucify. So we have people that are right now being attacked. Yes, you know, there has been rumors that Tyler Perry, you know, is involved with some of the people that he has employed, right? Some of the stars, actors, whatever. But that's not a crime I don't know of. That's not a crime if people are willing participants. And I just think that he weaponized social media, the public, which is very dangerous, because as you've said repeatedly, he's given us no proof. Nothing that he said even is makes logic, not even illogical sense. I mean, even for a person that we could be like, okay, maybe he just like, you know, he got triggered and he just ran off. He, you know, no clear thought, no nothing. Even the information that he's given us is so contradictive of what a person that has been exposed to this type of behavior, that, like as he said, afraid and all of that, would not behave, would not do what he's doing. So for me, if it definitely feels like a money grab, and something, if not necessarily trying to get them to come out their pockets, may, you know what I mean, to give him directly, maybe to invest in him more. But it's like to me, it just feels like a child that is having a temper tantrum and just don't want to take accountability, almost like a Karen spirit, you know. And I just hate that for the people that do support him. I hate this for them, because when you know, as a content creator, just as an influencer and everything, when you have the hearts of the people, they're gonna ride with you. They're gonna ride with you. And then when the truth comes out, if it is not true, when the truth comes out of things, then, you know, people are left heartbroken, as you stated. But I definitely believe that the trigger for him was a new piece that don't came into the picture, and it was out with the old, in with the new. Someone got tired of his antics, whoever it was, they got tired of his antics and said no. And now he's like having a whole tantrum.
Can we entertain another narrative? Because, you know, I'm just now exploring like everything now. So what if Christian has been harassed by said individuals, but he actually doesn't have anything to empirically like his possession to prove his plight empirically? So by him dangling the false narrative that he got everything on recording, which might explain why he hasn't ran to the police, is because he's hoping that the abusers will reach out to him, and then he can record, because he's going to have an opportunity to go into all the facts and situations that have happened, and then use those facts to run down to the police with. Could that be plausible? Because I'm trying to give him a win here. That because when he waved that brand new box around, I'm just like, I was not convinced. I was like, girl, I'm not convinced that you have anything substantial. But I'm thinking, okay, right, reverse. This is a plot twist. He maybe, because, you know, shit happens to people that they don't have no proof over, but these things transpire. And maybe he's mad and thinking like, damn, I can't even do shit, right? Because I ain't got no proof. What am I going to take to the police? Nothing. What am I going to put on a civil suit? It's just my word against his or theirs. I need proof about the things that have taken place. So he's hoping that dangling a threat to police and accountability will cause the elite to run and scramble, and there then, you know, provide access that can allow him to then hold them accountable publicly as they talk about the deals and how they're going to make this go away and what is it he's looking for and blah, blah, blah. And then he gets to have all that on recording, and then it goes kaboom. He can then go kaboom with it. Maybe that's the strategy here.
Well, real brief. I'm going to entertain that real brief. Mm-hmm. If that would be the case, I don't see how that would be successful for him, because I can't see these people, whoever this person or these people are, even taking it serious in a way where they would have a conversation with him at this point to be recorded, you know, indicted, you know, any evidence being gathered. I don't think that would ever like work for him. So that strategy really wouldn't necessarily work, be effective. But either way, I agree with you in regard to, I don't believe that he has always, like, he went in willingly. I do believe there was some harassment at some point, but I also believe that he gave in for his own personal gain. And he may be, you know, there may be some conflict, you know, there, but I definitely believe that he has also utilized the harassment to his own gain. I mean, I really can't see it no other way.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that, Arumazinti. Let me get Rock. What's going on, Rock? What are your thoughts? Christian Keys, what's going on here?
All right, a few things. Might not get to them all. First of all, can I be heard?
Yes, you are loud, live, and in color.
Okay. Yeah, I got a few things, and I took notes while I was listening just so I could remember everything.
Mm-hmm.
First thing is one of my concerns, and first things first. My whole conversation is not has nothing to do with whether Keys is telling the truth or not. I take him at his word. You know, I'm sorry if any of that, if all of that happened to him. That's horrible, and I hope that he fully recovers and gets the help that he needs. Aside from that, I just have a few questions. One, these are just questions in the back of my mind. I'm like wondering, like, what is that all about? Okay, so it says he was inspired by what's the girl's name? Cassie.
Yeah.
Who sued P Diddy. I'm wondering what, and I hate to sound cliche because I hate when people say why now. When victims come forward. So that's not my question of why he's coming forward now, but why Cassie? Because out of all of the things that have been going on in the media regarding sexual assault, I mean, you had the Me Too movement that started several years ago. You even have the Eddie Long situation that happened because, given the time span of 15 years, that Eddie Long situation happened in 2010. So what was he inspired at all during that time? A lot of things. The Terry Crews situation happened a few years ago. That didn't inspire him. It's like I just find it hard to wrap my mind around what's so special about the Cassie situation. Because all of these situations over the years were victims going up against powerful millionaires, billionaires, producers, and directors. So that's one thing. And speaking of the Terry Crews, I find it interesting, and I heard somebody else bring it up, but haven't heard many people talk about it. If you notice, there's a stark difference between the way the public treated Terry Crews versus the way they're treating or responding to Christian Keys. And if you notice, Terry Crews, he's this big, chunky, muscle bound, dark skinned black dude, very alpha male. And when he talked about his sexual assault by powerful men, in the industry, he got clowned. He got clowned all over social media. I mean, even comedians like D.L. Hughley were coming after him. I mean, nobody was taking him seriously. There was, I heard even YouTube content creators, they were clowning it. And basically saying, "Oh, you should have fought back. This your fault." Basically, now you talk about victim shaming. They were victim shaming Terry Crews, big time. But when Christian Keys comes out, everybody is like 90% of the people are like, "Oh, And I wonder, is it the light skin pretty boy thing?
You already
What's
know
different?
that is. You already know that is. You already know what it is. It's given exactly what it's given.
Okay, let me look on my. Okay, I got to look at my notes so I don't forget anything. So you mentioned this a few minutes ago, Conscious, but I also thought it's also bothering me. It's like, okay, you came out and gave and shot warning shots. Okay, you basically you did nothing but throw out threats. Basically, and you gave you left no evidence. You said you were firing like he was saying things like, "Oh, if y'all hear this recording or when y'all hear this recording," but everything was kind of like a setup.
It was. He was getting us to salivate at the mouth, and he was getting us all like primed and prepped, and just getting us on the edge. And oh, y'all gonna know who this is. Y'all gonna know. Y'all gonna know the upon first sight. Y'all gonna know. It's gonna have to be a conversation. I'm just like, why are we talking about the future? What's wrong with like? Why are you here right now if you're not ready to do this right now, right here?
Right.
Like, what is?
And
I don't understand. Like, and then why would somebody be talking about going to the police rather than just going? Like, that's not common language, especially when you're talking about like crime.
Yeah,
and
something
all
serious
it
like
does
that.
it's like you're sitting at home in a muscle shirt chilling, like talking about going to the police about something that you are also trying to convince us has such a horrifying reality to it. It didn't make sense.
Yeah. And it's so you basically it's up. I hate to say this, but to me, it's just the word that's coming to mind. For lack of a better term, it almost felt like a performance because it's like, and he's used to doing that. You know, that's what he does for a living. But basically, okay, I'm gonna leave everybody at the edge of their seat, and then but that's all you left. You didn't drop the mic. You didn't. It was just a setup, but no layup. And so now everybody's out here talking about you. Basically, your name is all in the headlines and everything. But there's also collateral to that, collateral damage, because not only that you're doing to yourself, but that you're inadvertently causing on other people, because now you got everybody immediately going to Tyler Perry and the other man, Smith. And these are the two main names out there in the
And
headlines.
Lee Daniels and Oprah done took all type of strays.
Yeah. And so I think it's kind of irresponsible to do that because, and you're not, it's one thing to do that, but you didn't even come out and clarify. Oh, no, it's not them. It's like when I forget that
because
comedian.
He damn sure clarified when he started talking about the female coworker and people were dropping names. He made sure to clarify that it wasn't the person that people were saying in that chat, but that chat was also filled up with people dropping Tyler Perry name, and he never clarified that it wasn't who he was talking about. And then
that's
it
crazy.
was corroborated by Funky Dineva and Claudia Jordan that is who Christian Keys is saying did these things or is doing these things.
Yeah, so everybody in America is playing a guessing game now. So that's making it feel like this is a game to you. Like you just got everybody guessing and creating videos and going on press tours and everything. And it's like, okay, because I don't know if anybody remembers. I'm sure some people in here remember when Cheryl Underwood, when she was on, I think it was not The View, that show that they had to talk, I think it was. And she had outed the Queens of Comedy for like going in on her. She had called in. They didn't know she was on the other line. She was on the phone and she was listening to all this hate they were giving her. And so she blasted them on live TV, but she didn't say names. She left it open-ended, but she clarified immediately to let you know who wasn't on that call. She said Monique was not on this call. And but that's just an example of somebody, okay, yeah, you don't want to name people. I understand that you don't want to put names out there. That's kind of different because there wasn't a crime committed, but she clarified it. She told you who it wasn't. So, but that's just an example. And I don't have much to say beyond that, except for, again, he basically gave his predators or his the people he's going against, he gave them his playbook. I thought that was weird. Like, okay, I'm telling you how I'm exactly how I'm recording you.
Well, that these people know where the royalty checks go. They have your personal information. That you are findable like anybody else in the world. You're a public figure, for God's sake. You have to work on sets. You have to leave your home absolutely to work. Like, why would you be telling these people that you're sitting on incriminating evidence? Like, what's keeping them from employing people to go and fuck you up and to also ramshack your residence and to dispose of you? It's too wild. And that's why I know there is no, I don't give a, yes, somebody said that Christian Keys said in the live, and he did say that he's planning his next 8 steps. I don't know whether he's meaning like the next 8 steps to the AA meeting, but he damn sure ain't talking about the next steps as it relates to having any type of strategy around what he was doing. And that was further corroborated by the fact that nobody even around him knew and was up on game about this. They're in the chat trying to get him to pull a parachute, my nigga. And then on top of that, he has no credibility in terms of what he's saying about a strategy, because on one hand, he was saying, I have peace. I'm all right. I have peace, while having an entire meltdown the entire time by talking about how it disturbs him and bothers him. that these people are essentially getting away with being loved and beloved, and nobody knows the real tea and the real truth while claiming he has peace. So if he clearly lied about having peace, he don't got it, because he's the one online drunk, bulging out of the eyeballs, upset, losing sleep, as he stated, wanting vengeance, wanting to avenge all the other concubines and everybody else who's felt prey to this. Then how can we remotely believe that he also, in fact, is 8 steps ahead? Yeah. Unless he did that live stream from the witness protection program, unless it's just something we don't know, and maybe there is. But
I was just gonna say he might.
It all looks like at face value, there ain't no way in hell.
Yeah, unless he's intellectually ahead of us all.
This either was impulsive and he was triggered. Somebody, I think Rashonda is here. She's going to tell us that apparently he was getting triggered on Facebook. People were calling him out or dragging him. I don't know what was happening on Facebook, but that's what led to him going on IG, etc. However, like I said, the strategy could very well be, it'll make sense to me if he's a clever thinker, that he is threatening to go to the police and threatening recordings he don't have about things that happened that have not been recorded, because he's trying to triangulate and manipulate the harassers into a conversation that can be recorded, that can be detailed, that he can then run down there to the police with. That, I mean, that could be the only sensible strategy I could see. But even with that comes a lot of, like, because in holding powerful people accountable, there is no 100% way to guarantee your safety. So either way, like, no plan would be without error. But even that plan, it's like, girl, you're putting your life in danger, and you're making an assumption that these people are going to want to work this out with you that way, when they could already be employing the goddamn goons to take care of all this for them.
Yeah.
There ain't going to be no conversation to be had. Absolutely. There ain't going to be no private mitigating of the situation. They're now just about to do what needs to be done, because how can they even keep your word that you're going to withhold all this alleged evidence? And I think somebody also said that he said in the live stream, because I think I didn't hear the last 10 minutes, that he said that there are already things in place in case something happens to him for things to go up. So I'm just like, girl, I don't know what it's giving, but go ahead, girl.
I don't know if you some people remember, this isn't the first time we've heard from Christian Keys coming out and doing something like this. There was a situation a couple years ago. I forget exactly how long ago, but just a couple years ago, when he had to come out and do a video, basically telling people to just announcing that he was straight. You know, he was like, I'm straight. Ain't with that gay shit. Basically, he was like, I'm flattered, but you know, and I'm everything when y'all compliment me. But somebody had complimented somebody said something, they wanted his son or something. And I don't know how old his son was during this time, but I'm sure people remember that. And
yeah, I think he was on Fox Soul talking to Claudia Jordan, actually. Openly. Okay. Yeah, because I think I actually have that interview pulled up. I haven't seen it yet, but I was going to listen to it. And I think he talks about the situation with his son. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But if you notice in this live, he just kept, it's one thing to declare, okay, you're straight. Just make it clear. But it's the way he was like just going. It was kind of like going down a rabbit hole. It was kind of like.
He was like over-explaining. He was mansplaining.
Yeah, over-explaining, yes. Exactly. So it's kind of like, it just left a question in my mind. What is that all about? Like, why do you?
I don't know, because it was weird that he did all that. Like, oh, I don't swing that way, and God made this, he made fallopian tubes, and this. But then he turned around and it was like, I ain't got no problem with gay people. I got gay friends. I was like, it was a mess. That's how I know. That's another piece of circumstantial evidence too. That supports that this was not a plan. Like, because it was so sloppy and contradictory, and you know, like it was just back and forth. It was just all over the place. Like this shit was not planned. There was no strategy in this shit. There wasn't. Whatever the fuck going on, he made a mess of it, unfortunately. And it's sad because he's been victimized and then he handled the situation how he handled it. He just shooting himself in the foot. It just added insult to injury, and he just kind of double knotted the knot a little bit. It's a lot going on. But hold that thought because I got to get to these other quotes, but just hold that D Rock. I want to get to my man Dragon Den. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How you doing?
I am doing well. How are you, Dragon? And what do you think about this Christian Key situation?
Well, I took a different angle from most people. I took the angle that when it comes to colorism, no matter what the situation, it always plays a role in the African American culture, Black culture. In the case of, although it's two separate cases, colorism has played a role in the support of who gets and who doesn't. For example, Jonathan Majors, before the verdict even came down, he was already prosecuted, convicted, and just destroyed by social media and the public. And most of those people were women and Black women, unfortunately, right? Now, this is not to say that they didn't get triggered from watching him go through their own trauma, and that's fine. But I think it was a disservice. It's proven that colorism will never be eradicated. And a lot of YouTubers, I ain't gonna name their names because that's not what we do on your channel. I ain't trying to get you in no beef, and definitely not me. But I was just appalled and absolutely disgusted at the amount of people, particularly in our community, had already convicted this man. Now you take Christian Keys, and going off what the call is saying, I've been thinking about it the whole time. The whole light skin, he pretty, he could never look at him, who would want to do him some wrong, look at the frustration. I wasn't buying none of it, and I ain't buying none of it now. Now playing the devil's advocate, he doesn't strike me as someone, based on what he talk about, the fallopian tubes and the vulva, the you know what, the this, that he would even stand for one time to be sexually harassed, not to mention 2, 3, 4, 5, and 15 and 100,000, whatever he was talking about.
Remember, Dragon. Ooh, he want to use the muscles, baby, to break these niggas' faces.
See, I'm not buying none of that because he doesn't strike me as that type of person. And I just feel like he knew with his, and I'm sorry, I got light skinned relatives, but I'm gonna tell her like it is. That whole light skin aesthetic has never not worked for somebody in his position, right? You take Jonathan Majors, people like Claudia Jordan, we've spoken about her a lot in regards to this topic and how she's come to his defense, and she know him. She's already biased. But if you listen to her show, and I've been a fan of hers up until today, there's something that clicked. I had always heard that she was a colorist. I said, no, that ain't Claudia. She friends with Kenya Moore. Kenya Moore is a beautiful melanated queen. Regardless of what you think, I'm Team Twirl. She is not that way, but listening to her in the last couple of months, there is an issue with her colorism. So it would be quite natural that she would be biased because she talked about Jonathan Majors, what he looked like, his lips, his face. I don't trust a man who got that fun. I mean, along with other women, he was absolutely destroyed. But when it comes to Pretty Boy, all of a sudden, I know he's telling the truth. He told me a few years ago, I am really surprised that Funky Dineva and Al has not checked her. Maybe Funky Dineva has. And I'm thinking just on today's show, I saw Funky Dineva get real reserved about his comments, but on his own channel, he spoke the same thing that I was speaking about, and a lot of other people, that something is not clean in the water. And I feel like this man has done this before. He's probably, like we all are thinking, that he's used his aesthetics, light skin, textured hair. Now you can't blame him for that. That was how he was born. Okay, no problem. But everybody is talking about Hollywood. Hollywood is always so corrupt. Then go another route. You know what I'm saying? There are very few black billionaires or anybody with power in Hollywood that's black that will keep you in a very positive and genuine, authentic. You knew going in, but like everybody else, he is played to his physical aesthetics to go in and do what he needs to do. And like everybody else is thinking, he is not the new pastry in the bakery no more. He dried up, he's stale. They got a new croissant glazed with whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? The man is just, I think he is using his advantage. And like you, all those mics and secret recordings and all this stuff, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying none of it. But again, taking it from a different angle of colorism, everybody, and he knew, and he played to that. And I agree with what Funky said and what most people said. Take all of that 10 years of evidence to the police station. And if you're worried about going into Atlanta, you can go outside of Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? It will make it hard, but go outside of Atlanta. You don't have to go for that particular police station. You can go anywhere with that type of information.
And guess what, Dragon? If all else fails, baby, bring it to the court of public opinion and street justice will take place on these streets. Social media will light Tyler Perry ass or whomever this allegedly is the fuck up. The public will chew and feast on the bodies of whomever this is.
And I agree with that, but you said you have all this evidence. Street justice is going to be the secondary with all the evidence that he says he has, like the CIA and FBI. The street justice is just a backup if you have all that evidence. That's why this whole thing is unbelievable. But again,
that's why it was also weird to me, Dragon, too, that he was saying, like, I'll take a polygraph. I'm like, what's a polygraph test need if you got all this incriminating evidence? What's a conversation? What conversation did we have? Why would you need to take a polygraph test if you got all this evidence? Like, you got the evidence of the evidence.
Yeah, it's just not making sense. But like we all are saying, all this evidence, you go to public, you go put the street of public opinion, you go to the public jury. Why? What is it? And just like you were saying earlier, he is building a foundation that he is trying to make invincible in terms of what the public is going to believe. Because if you were to take this quote unquote so-called evidence, he may not have nothing. And let's say this was true. And here's where I play the devil's advocate, right? Well, let's say all of this, his trauma happened. The young lady who was who first came on and said a commentary, I think it's a case of displacement of trauma. Those things that happened to him as a child, something triggered that as an adult. So it's easy to say that those things are going to happen again because it happened before. And that has been trauma that he hasn't quite resolved via a psychiatrist, psychologist, or meds or whatever. So it would be real convenient for him to take that trauma and apply it to what's going on now as a grown man, especially when those same triggers are in place. It just makes perfect sense. He can easily apply this. So while he might be telling the truth about him being sexually harassed, that may not be as an adult. That may have been as a child, and he's now, due to certain triggers that remind him of those childhood traumas, he's placing it in the here and now, if that makes sense. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, but like I said, it's anything can be plausible. You know, we are coming off of Carly Russell using things going on in her personal life and got the public involved and resources involved and all of this and all of that and the whole narrative. I mean, they even tried to sell the police over on it. I mean, it's, you know, it living in this day and age when it comes to all the things we've endured and experienced as a people on social media. That's why I cannot blame the public per se for how they're responding to this. I think that he did a poor job. And guess what? I'm keeping the same energy that I have kept with people in my life who, under certain controversial circumstances, there were certain interviews that got had that did not help. And once again, I'm real big on like understanding what this space requires. That's why even for myself, I bring a lot of facts. I bring a lot of receipts when it comes to me defending other people or even defending myself. I don't play the yabba dabba doo game. I know how this goes, and I know how critical it gets in this space. So that creates a personal standard even for the way that I deal with certain situations and how I go about my own controversies. So everybody who's questioning this man, to your point, Dragon, like, I mean, like, that's what Christian left us with. He left us in a position to find anything to be possible based upon the way he presented and what he gave for an hour and 6 minutes.
And I also wanted to say
hold on for 1 minute, Latasha, you keep going up for like Christian doesn't have anything to prove and who cares. So if Christian doesn't have to care, what makes you think spamming my chat with your thoughts puts us in a position to give a fuck about what you think? What you think clearly is changing nothing despite your hooping and hollering in the chat, Miss Mamas. You about 20 minutes in, okay? And yet the temperature has not changed in the room. The conversation has not changed. The foot is where the fuck the feet are in the situation. And you have yet to accept that everything you're doing in the chat is completely meaningless because nobody here gives a fuck about your opinion. So can you please take your own thoughts and your own advice and find you something else to do? Okay? Because nobody gives a damn. And since you want to do it, be prepared to sit here and be fucking tortured because the tone of the people who have the position that they have is where it's at. Okay, now you do look old enough to have some grandbabies. You look old enough to have some grandchildren. You look old enough to still, be carrying some breast that got good solid milk in it, baby. You need to put a titty somewhere in somebody's mouth, baby. Okay? You need to just go find you something else to do, Miss Mamas, because it's tired and it's late. But go ahead, Dragon.
Yeah, I just wanted to say also that if Christian, the light-skinned wonder, Akis, is in fact, if he wrong and he accusing Tyler Perry of this and it's not true, or let's say he goes to court and they find Tyler Perry not guilty, I would hope that Tyler Perry is going to destroy him in court, as well as everybody on social media, not everybody, but just those prominent figures, because he can't get everybody. The internet is too big for that. I would hope that he would also send a very sharp and fiery cease and desist to people like Claudia Jordan, because watching Claudia Jordan, I support all Black women, so don't be coming for me with that. She needs to be stopped because her and a few others, it's just out of control. Like, you don't know if this, right now, I bet Claudia has not even heard those so-called 007 recordings, as you put it so eloquently, Consciouztv. I just hope that if he does get to court, that he ain't gonna go there just like Funky Dineva said, because I don't believe it's enough there, if it's any at all, to really. The money don't ran out. The BMO account ain't working. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it ain't making sense anymore. Like I said, he's not the flavor of the month. And that's really pretty much it for me. But until we know I'm not buying none of it. I'm not buying none of it.
All right. That was Dragon. Okay, Drag. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Unforgettable. Welcome to the chat. I think you're on mute, if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, there she is. Hey, how you doing, boo?
I'm sorry. Earlier, I was getting me some Taco Bell.
Oh, I didn't know. Come through, Taco.
Okay.
Yes.
First, I want to say this: I am an ally for the LGBTQ plus community. So, what I am about to say, I am not trying to offend anyone.
Time to be offended.
No. Okay. What? Only thing that Funky Dineva said that made me upset was he said that he did not believe him because the gay men he knew did not pursue straight men. That's not right. That's not true. They look for some good old trade too. That's that right there.
True. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, as far as everything that you broke down, you phenomenal.
Thank you.
Because from the time he started talking, I was confused because it felt like, you know how you're watching a movie and then it flipped to another scene, then it flipped back over to the other scene.
Almost like a dream. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And
Just
so
skipping.
I was confused at a lot of the things that he was saying. And I've never really watched his live before, so I couldn't tell if something was wrong. But my thing is this: if he has support peers, why haven't they come out to even say that he needs to clarify or to encourage him to do so?
Well, this is my question to you, Unforgettable. His peers are, such as Claudia and Funky, they both corroborated that that's who he at least is definitely talking about.
But we have to go back to what you said. They're going off his word.
Possibly.
Have they heard the evidence?
Right.
Okay. Now, as far as the pens, I'm a gadget. I love gadgets. There was a pen back there at that time, but it was not going to record the way he said it records. It was not voice activated. It wasn't going to work like that. And they didn't have battery packs and USBs. So how was he doing, how was he getting this? Was he wired? Did he have a tape recorder taped to it? Well, and he said that he has other people that have the tapes, his mom or his brothers.
And that's another thing. That was another thing that I found to be very weird. Why are you informing these people about like everything? You're informing them about the police and your desire to go and your plan to go. You're telling them who is holding evidence, and yet you're the one talking about these powerful, wealthy people. So now you've put a target on all their backs. All of y'all homes can be ramshacked. All of y'all asses.
Happened to him. They know who did it. Oh,
even worse, because now you definitely put targets on their backs.
Yes.
What?
He also said that he's in a position now to where he's his own boss. So he before he only had the $3,000, and he for his son and baby mama and all that, and eating at the Dollar Tree. But now he's in a position to where he can support himself, to where he, if something was to happen, they couldn't fire him. He has made his, he has his books. He has what? I'm sorry.
But you good.
He has all these different books and things like that. Also, the box he held up, it looked like an Apple pen.
That's what it was looking like to me too.
That my daughter just got one in the mail. That was an Apple pen. He held it up quick. That's what it looked like to me. Basically that's it. Everybody else has said everything. So I'm just listening at this point. Yeah. But Conscious, I don't want him to accuse somebody or have us. Somebody is not really,
Somebody. Let me mute everybody up. Okay, go ahead.
I don't want to accuse someone, and they are innocent, So I just wish that, he would have came out with, it would have been executed a lot better than what it was, and you can't really believe Claudia. You just
okay, all right. Thank you for that, Unforgettable.
But I love how you the passion that you had for this, because you really broke it down. You uncovered it. It's everywhere. So thank you.
Thank you, boo. I appreciate you. Rashonda, can you hear me, love? You're on mute. If you're okay, hey, what's going on, boo? Okay, I got a little bit of time. What you think about this Christian Key situation?
Well, it's a backstory to this. It's some parts missing. I'm gonna say that. I'm a Christian everywhere, right? I went to a play, the very first play, My Dear Goes to Jail. Now Tyler Perry, 7 feet tall. People don't know this. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing is, one thing about Tyler, he don't play. It's a woman that was chewing some gum. He made her spit it out, and I just like, wow. And she thought he was playing. He made her spit the gum out. So what I'm saying is, he could have been intimidated by Tyler because how tall he is. That's a big dude, Conscious.
Yeah.
I saw this from, like, he comes out in regular, without the makeup and stuff. I'm like, dog, that's a tall man. And not only that, there was something on Facebook. Christian, before all this happened, which I don't know, somebody was harassing him online on his page. It's still on their Conscious. His name is Mayo Pinch Hill. That's his name.
Did you send me the screenshot already or no?
I had to send it to you because I didn't have your email at the time. But I can read it to you. It's short. And the dude said, didn't I tell you I think he's fruity? Yep, still is. Christian went off. He said, Mayo Pinch Hill, why would you come on a post that I made on my page, say something untrue and disrespectful? Stuff like that. It's tacky, it's classist, ashy, lonely, unloved, and unattractive. People like you always have something to say. No wonder why you're single. So that's part of the reason why he was snapping. People have been harassing him. You get what I'm saying? And not only that he has people coming in his inbox, sending him pictures and stuff like that. He said that as well. So, I guess he got tired of people calling him Zesty. And that's part of the reason why he's been snapping and going off. Just because people feel a certain way, I don't care what the situation is, you don't have the right to come on somebody's page and harass them like that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he fed up and he got tired, and that's why he brought all of that to light. You see what I'm saying? Because he's tired of it. So that was the back part of the stuff that I was saying. It ain't just by accident that he's going off and revealing this stuff. People have been bothering him. I have watched them come on his page personally and say things they shouldn't be saying to him. So my thing is, it's okay to have an opinion, but it's not okay to harass and to hurt people. And I'm proud of you, Conscious, for just staying with who you are and just being you. I love you.
Thank you. I love you too.
Yeah. So.
I mean, as fucking Dineva says, when you're standing your own shit, nobody can spray you with your truth. You just gotta own it. And
that's a part of the reason why he was going off. I just wanted to add that in. Know why he's snapping. He ain't snapping for nothing. People have been harassing him. And this is on his page. You can go and look on his page. It's still on.
Send me the screenshot so I can post it. Like, email it. My email is consciouztv@gmail.com. I'll post it on my community wall. And I gotta get out of here. But thank you for that backstory. And be looking for that screenshot you guys on the community wall. I'm gonna post it soon as Rashonda send it to me. But thank you for being here, boo.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Right, babes. So you guys, I got to go. We've been here 3 hours. Thank you to all of the panelists, girl. Once again, we gave Christian 2 videos standing in solidarity with him. We had to allow the pendulum to swing the opposite direction and also give the part of social media that does not feel like something is right here, because I would be lying if I said that this made total sense. It doesn't. There are things that he said in the ways he communicated, etc., that definitely gave cause for folk to scratch their head and to question him accordingly. If Christian Keys drops these receipts, girl, and they're given what needs to be given, girl, it'll be up. That's what is promised to him, girl. If he acts on what he said he gonna act on, and he slaps an address on shit, and he backs that shit up with the facts, baby, oh, it's up. Whether the criminal justice system do anything or not, it's going to be up. It's going to be on. Okay? And there's a lot of power in social media, which is probably why Christian was interested in massaging us. Okay? Maybe that's his strategy. I ain't saying that all his strategies are perfect, but maybe he massaging us, girl, because he sees the power. You know, social media is the reason why cancel culture exists. We know people have lost their bags, lost their careers. Look at what recently happened to Erica Mena, girl. She got snatched down, booted out of projects, girl. The contracts were not renewed. Okay. So, you know, look at what happened with the baby and just so many other people. So there's equity even in dealing with the court of public opinion. But, you know, he made a lot of claims, and a lot of people are going to be looking for him to act on that shit. They're going to be looking for him to run down to the police and do what he say he going to do for himself and for all those black men that have been victimized, currently being victimized, and in the future will be victimized as long as these folk remain in power. They're going to be looking for him to produce those receipts accordingly. And he's really put himself in a position, like I said, to where he has to do something, because now if he doesn't, he's going to be forever etched into social media history as Christian Smollett. His credibility will be shot to hell, and he'll never live it down. So, you know, it's going to be interesting to see what comes out. We're also looking for Tyler Perry and Robert F. Smith to respond, more so Tyler Perry, since Tyler Perry is, you know, a public figure. And, you know, he's out here in these, you know, popular streets, girl. Will Tyler Perry say something? Because it also got to be argued. Why the fuck has Tyler Perry not said, bitch, I see what you hoes got going on this TikTok and YouTube and Instagram, girl, and Fox Soul and over on the Dineva channel and shit. Stop playing with me, ho, because I ain't never touched this motherfucking man. I ain't never made no advances at this nigga. And if y'all don't rip all that shit down, bitch, expect the process servers to serve, girl, accordingly. Expect them to serve accordingly, girl. So we got a question, girl. Why is Tyler Perry not yielding his power, girl? Because if Tyler Perry get out here, girl, and threaten the girls like Cardi did, because we know what Cardi did to Unhinge, please believe, girl, all this shit would be privated. Okay? It would be as if Christian Keys never said a goddamn thing, girl. All this content would just go. Okay? It would be with the Lord. Okay? Absent from YouTube and with the Lord. So, will Tyler Perry speak out? Will he respond, girl? Will he come to his defense? If it's not Tyler Perry, or will Tyler Perry not defending himself make Tyler Perry look even more incriminating? Because what person would allow these narratives to be spun about them without speaking to said circumstances? Once again, Claudia Jordan and Funky Dineva have both backed Oh Boy up in terms of this is who they know he's talking about. Claudia Jordan done, you know, she got inside scoop. It doesn't mean they've heard recordings, but it just means that they know firsthand that this is who he is accusing of the situation, girl. So this shit is wild. It's messy as hell, and I don't know what to tell you other than, girl, this is what retrograde gives. Okay, so all of y'all who've been not a strong believer in retrograde, girl, you already seeing Cardi B done lost her damn mind. BBL rage, going off on Offset, stealing all his goddamn money, girl, slamming him. Nicki Minaj blasting the billboards. They got her fucked up. Now you got the situation with Christian Keys, girl. You got more P. Diddy victims coming forward, girl. Retrograde is retrograding. So stay safe, stay good. Anything. Email it to me at consciouztv@gmail. Once again, that is spelled just like my channel name. Shout out to the 44.6. We are fucking working. We're just being fair. We're just being critical. We don't know absolutely anything. If Christian is a victim, I am praying for justice, and I will certainly use my platform to hold his perpetrators accountable. And if he also leaves holes and suspicion, I'll also be fair to address those things too. Okay, we will address, both sides until things come to a period. All right, that's what you can expect from the platform. So I love you guys. And yes, we are critical thinkers here. That's what we do, honey. It's not personal. It's just critical. That's it. It's not personal. It's just critical. So I will see you guys later. Bye.